Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest severe weather coverage. I hope everybody's having a good afternoon thus far. We have a lot to cover in today's live stream. It's actually a pretty large area today for severe weather. We have a large risk for severe weather. If you looked at the thumbnail, it's a huge area. It goes anywhere from the Midwest and it actually goes into the Northeast, including New England, but I couldn't fit it all in one thumbnail, all the way back over into parts of Montana, Arizona, Utah. It is a massive area today that we're going to be talking about in terms of severe weather, with all modes of severe weather being possible, including damaging winds, large hail, and the potential even for a few tornadoes. So we're going to break down all this for you today in today's live stream, kind of give you an idea of what's happening out there. We will have Storm Chaser Connor Croft and Storm Runner Media with us throughout the live stream whenever there's crazy weather happening, so we'll keep you posted with that sort of stuff. Before we get too far into the stream, I do want to mention today's live stream is brought to you by Radar Omega. If you need a weather app to stay ahead of the storms today, you can download Radar Omega with the top link in the description below. All right, let's begin with the tornado warning that we currently have in Iowa. This has been rotating for well over 45 minutes now. This thing has actually had some strong rotation at times. This is near Hartley in Iowa. It's in far northwestern Iowa right now. It is currently tracking to the east-northeast, heading towards M27, eventually towards Milford and Fostoria. It still has a potential of producing a tornado. We are pretty far away from the closest radar site, so overall the coverage here is not fantastic, especially since we have a hail core. So there's going to be a little bit of contamination with this, but we still do have a pretty decent amount of rotation nonetheless, right over the north side of Hartley. Currently, again, moving east-northeast, and it's moving east-northeast at about 25 miles per hour in O'Brien County, Iowa. If you are in the pink polygon, make sure that you are getting to your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building, as this does continue to track over to the east. Milford, Arnold's Park, and Spirit Lake will also be in the track of this pretty large-scale thunderstorm right now that's moving off to the east. We do have a live Radar Omega cyclone port back over in northern Iowa. Let me go and pull it up for you here real quick. This is going to be just to the northeast of where this tornado warning is right now, and you'll actually see on the right side of your screen, this right here is the storm that is currently producing the potential for a tornado. It's really hard to see since it's just so far back. We are still well over 20 miles, I think, away from the storm with this live camera, but you can actually see that rain shaft right there. I'm not sure if we're really going to see a tornado here, at least from this far away, but we might be able to see something as this does get closer. So this is the leading edge of that thunderstorm right now, and overall it's going to be approaching this area near Spirit Lake over the next 45 minutes or so. And you can actually see there's a lot of people out there right now here at this lake. It's a pretty popular spot during this time of the year, as it's, you know, it's hot in Iowa and it's also very humid, so people are trying to cool off, relax at the bar, and also try to go in the lake. Well, keep in mind there's a big thunderstorm coming your way if you're back over here near Arnold's Park in Milford. So we'll be keeping a close eye on this live camera, as the rotation is still on the stronger side of things. We could end up seeing some sort of tornado threat as this moves towards that direction, maybe even near Spencer or Everly. Now, besides this storm, we have a lot of other storms that we're going to be talking about. We're really just at the beginning of today's severe weather risk. We do have some storms back over in Wisconsin that are also posing the threat for damaging winds and some hail, and there's also going to be a potential for an isolated tornado just east of Madison right now. We do have this storm that is near Watertown that is currently tracking to the east, pretty much outflow driven right now, but there has been some rotation on this. They do currently have a tornado possible label on this particular storm, with some rotation just to the east of Lake Mills, moving right along Interstate 94, going to be going towards Oconomowoc in that area of Wisconsin. So if you're in those areas, just stay weather aware. Frequent lightning, some gusty winds, some hail will be possible, and maybe an isolated tornado. Any storms that can remain discreet and right along an outflow boundary in this environment could produce a tornado. Though the risk is very low, it is definitely not zero, so definitely make sure that you're staying weather aware there. I do want to bring your attention really quickly to the northeast, back up in Massachusetts. We did have some broad circulation on this storm east of Springfield, Massachusetts earlier. Looks like that's dying off. The main concern across New England will be damaging winds. We're not really going to talk much about this area. It's not even in the thumbnail today, but we will be still watching if there's any sort of tornado risk that tries to appear here. We'll definitely keep a close eye on that, but otherwise, most of these storms in the northeast today will be damaging winds, and that's really about it. I'm not expecting much else besides that. Back over in Michigan, this is another area that we're watching today. It's not a high risk by any means. It's still a very low risk. It's only a marginal threat here in Michigan, but we are watching for some summertime thunderstorms to blow up here over the next couple of hours. Mainly going to be hail and wind threat. anywhere from Cadillac all the way back into Lansing and Detroit. Right now, pretty much just an outflow-driven area of storms near Flint, producing some gusty winds. Any storms that can organize here could produce some damaging winds and maybe a brief spin-up, but I don't really expect much other than that. This is a live cam over in Detroit right now, and you'll see it's just raining right now. It's, you know, not great weather if you're trying to be outdoors back over in Detroit. Hopefully after tomorrow, the weather starts to simmer down a little bit, or actually after Sunday, but right now it looks like it's going to stay active there for a little while. Back over in parts of Nebraska, we do have a huge cluster of thunderstorms that has developed back over in North Platte. Very slow moving thunderstorms overall near North Platte and Stapleton. These will be mostly wind threats throughout the day today, but we could get an isolated tornado. Do have a little bit of rotation north of Arnold. We also have a little bit of circulation back over north of North Platte, maybe even a little bit more north of Maxwell there. But overall, the main concern here in western Nebraska is going to be damaging winds with maybe a brief spin up somewhere embedded in that line. Back over in Wyoming, and as well as back into Colorado, we also have storms over here that are also producing the threat for severe weather. This storm over here near Grover actually had a pretty impressive looking storm structure from what I was looking at on Twitter not too long ago. But overall, this storm is mostly going to be a wind threat and hail threat. I don't expect much of a tornado risk out of this. It's a very low chance. It's not zero, but it is definitely on the lower side of things. And guess what? New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah are all dealing with thunderstorms as well. More damaging winds, more large hail, and maybe an isolated tornado embedded with maybe one or two of these storms back over here in southeastern Utah could produce an isolated brief spin up, but again, pretty low risk over here as well for tornadoes. The last area that we've not talked about yet is Montana. We actually have a threat of tornadoes up here in Montana today as well. There is a 5% tornado risk that was outlined by the Storm Prediction Center today. And let's hop over to that tornado risk here. So you'll notice there's a 5% tornado risk from about Great Falls back into Billings. We'll be watching for the potential for a couple of tornadoes over the next 4 to 5 hours. We also have another 5% tornado risk back over in parts of Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa, and as well as back over into parts of northeastern Nebraska, where there will be a potential for an isolated tornado or two this afternoon and evening. We'll have Connor Croft and Storm Runner Media out here. Storm Runner Media is having issues with connection right now. I believe Connor Croft will be live here relatively soon, but I am not sure currently when. So he'll be live at some point pretty soon. As of right now, though, he does not have a stream posted on YouTube because nothing's fired yet currently where he's at. So right now, not any storm chases that we have right now, but there's nothing happening in that area, at least for now. Right now, it's just a little spin up, or a little storm that developed, excuse me, that is already weakened out. Now, this particular environment over here in southeastern parts of South Dakota is predominantly going to be a wind and hail threat, but we could end up seeing an isolated tornado as these storms get going. But so far, again, nothing's fired up here along the Nebraska and South Dakota border at this point, but that could change as we go further into the afternoon. The tornado warning, by the way, was allowed to be canceled over here in northwestern Iowa. Though there is still some rotation, it doesn't really appear as if it is rotation. I think this might be more of a contamination because usually when we have tornadoes, they are more located in this area. There's usually like a hook. This looks more like a wind threat, though, as of right now, that is moving towards Everly and Spencer. With that said, we do still have a radar Omega cyclone port, and we actually still have a view right now of this thunderstorm. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on this as it does continue to make an approach here towards Spirit Lake and Spencer in Iowa. But again, the main concern with this storm right now does appear to be damaging winds and hail. Maybe an isolated tornado, but the risk, again, is still on the lower side of things as of right now. Alrighty, let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. All right, so that's the entire forecast. I got through that in about 8 minutes, which is crazy because... I don't know how many states are included in a severe weather risk today, but it is an extreme amount. Let me check real quick. We can count this up real quick. This is the severe weather risk for today. So again, we got Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas, South Dakota, Minnesota, that's 10, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, there's my phone, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont. I think that's it. That's 23 states that are under a risk for severe weather today, to some extent. If I counted it up all right, which is absolutely absurd. I don't know the last time that we covered a severe weather risk that included 23 states. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's a lot. Now, granted, there's no enhanced risk or anything like that. Everything's a pretty low-end risk, but even then, I mean, it's still absurd. You know, that's an insane number to, be dealing with here. Just crazy. Hey, Eric for the 199 had a flying trampoline in New York today. Today is not tossing trampolines on Tall Trees Thursday. It is actually Flying Fences Friday. We should have some flying fences throughout the day today, especially with the damaging wind threat that we're going to have develop later today. So that'll be something to watch for sure. All right. How's it going, Leslie? Welcome back. Watching from Ohio. Yeah, Ohio might see some severe weather too today. I mean, again, the thumbnail outlines basically the entire risk area aside from the Northeast. I don't think we're going to see much in Ohio today. It should just be mostly isolated wind and hail. That's about it. I think Michigan should be the same way too. The tornado risk, as I mentioned before, is a very narrow corridor today. It is legitimately a very narrow corridor. There's not much of a large area. It's a large area, but it's very elongated. And so we have this ridge that's back down here in the southeast and the southern plains that's moving actually more west now. But this ridge is basically allowing for all this moisture to kind of spin around this, and that's actually what we're seeing from this tornado risk. And one other thing that we're going to see later today, as we really go into this evening, is a pretty significant flooding threat. So flooding is going to become a pretty significant issue, especially across parts of Minnesota and Iowa. Let me pull up the hydrological outlook for today. And you'll notice there's a moderate risk for flash flooding, which does include Wisconsin, South Dakota, Nebraska, back into Minnesota, and as well as Iowa. So there will be a chance for some flash flooding today. Overall, the concern when it comes to this is going to be because of all these storms that are going to be training west to east. And so we're going to have a lot of showers and thunderstorms essentially spinning around this high pressure system. And that's going to kind of train and penetrate storms into this environment here where they're just going to keep stacking up. And we're going to continue to see a lot of rain falling in this area over a relatively short span. So unfortunately, flooding is going to be a pretty significant issue today. More tonight more than anything. It won't be technically today, like tonight into overnight tonight is when we'll see that threat really start to ramp up. So that is what we're currently looking at in terms of the flooding threat. Also, they have added another tornado possible label to this storm. This is a new one that just developed near the Mallard area. Some broad circulation right now just to the south of the Curlew area and south of Cylinder. So there is a little bit of broad rotation there. This is a newly developing storm. And what's interesting is that the Storm Prediction Center in this morning's outlook, before most of you woke up, it was like the very early morning outlook, the 5% tornado risk was actually in here today. They did shift that back to the west, which I actually think is probably going to be more accurate for today's setup. But depending on how things go, we actually might see a bit more of a tornado risk develop back over here in Minnesota and northern Iowa. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. This is the latest HRRR model run for today. So over the next several hours, we are expecting storms to fire up relatively soon, right along the Nebraska and South Dakota border, where the potential for a tornado or two will exist. So far, nothing's really fired. But as long as something fires there, I think as long as it stays discreet, we are going to get some sort of tornado risk. And again, we will have Storm Chaser Connor Croft and Storm Runner Media with us today, as long as something really gets going here. So there are some storms there, just nothing super substantial quite yet that's developed. Back over closer to 6 to 7 o'clock, the storms will continue to slowly move east. We'll have a cluster of storms in central Nebraska continuing to produce damaging winds and hail. Back over in northeastern Iowa, it should be predominantly a rain threat, but maybe some hail and maybe an isolated brief tornado. And eventually overnight tonight, notice how all these storms kind of train in this one area in northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. So as long as these storms train in this environment, flash flooding will be a significant threat for those in northern Iowa tonight. And eventually into tomorrow morning, that rain will finally move out. And then we'll eventually be talking about a risk for severe weather for Saturday, which will be across parts of the Midwest. We're going to have a line of storms tomorrow afternoon develop right over here in Iowa. I'm not sure if we're going live for this yet, but it looks likely that we will be going live for this, as there will be a damaging wind threat that'll move through Iowa and eventually going into Illinois and Wisconsin. And this will be mostly, again, a damaging wind threat, but we could get some cool storm structure shots out of this with storm chasers and as well as our virtual rail fans and maybe even the radar Omega cyclone ports. We might get some good views of this activity, but most of this will be wind, hail, and maybe an isolated tornado or two. But it does look likely we'll be live again tomorrow for the Midwest. So just letting you know, if you have any family or any friends over there, we'll probably be live for that as well. All right, back to the storm that we were talking about at the beginning. This one, again, is a storm that was tornado warned at one point. We do still have a little bit of rotation here that's embedded in the thunderstorm. Again, there could be some level of contamination to this. It's not a guaranteed pocket of rotation, but I do think there's at least some rotation here that is currently moving to the east-northeast, and we may get a tornado out of this, so we're still watching this closely. Let's go back to the radar Omega cyclone port, and actually, look at this. You can see the storm right here. That right there is your storm that we're looking at. This is, again, the Radar Omega Cyclone Port back over in Crystal Lake in Iowa. And we are looking at the storm that does currently have some half-dollar sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it does look like there's something there. You know, there's at least a little bit of you know, you can kind of see the cloud base at least right there in the background. So we at least have something there. Again, whether this actually produces a tornado is pretty uncertain, but there's definitely something here. And this is really going to be a pretty good live shot that we're going to have here in Iowa. Let me see if there's any other Iowa live cameras as well. There might be. Olive Garden used to be great, not anymore. Okay, that's the first message I read. Nice resort, yacht club. There was people swimming out here. I think there's lightning in the area, so I think a lot of the people that were like on the docks here were forced to go inside. I mean, you still got a couple people here out in the bar, but nothing like, you know, no, it doesn't look like anybody's in the water right now. You actually see a trail. There's actually a trail of lightning right now near Spencer. There's a pretty solid amount of lightning with this storm, so probably a good thing to be staying out of that lake. That's near Arnold's Park. That's where that's located. So we at least have a view of that. Once this camera comes back up, I'll show you something else I just noticed too on that. Let me see if there's any other cameras as well. Let's see. Where'd the Olive Garden stuff come from? I don't know. I just saw somebody posted about Olive Garden in the chat. I gotta be honest with you, I think Olive Garden is pretty mediocre unless you get a lunch special. That's like the only time it's actually decent. No cap. Is Connor okay? Connor's fine. I'm pretty sure he's just waiting for storms to fire. He does not have a live stream right now, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he is just waiting for storms to fire, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't think he posted anything on Twitter, so I don't know. But I don't blame him. I mean, honestly, I think all of us I expected storms to fire here right along the South Dakota and Nebraska border right around now, if not even an hour ago. And so far, we haven't had much. So, we do have storm intermediate, but they're not really looking at much either right now. I mean, there's not really much to see out here in Nebraska or South Dakota. And most of these storms are just wind and hail. What's interesting is that we actually have rotation near Callaway, Nebraska. This is a new tornado possible label. So there's actually rotation down here. So there's something in Nebraska, just not where our target zone would be here today for the most, you know, significant threat for severe weather in terms of at least a tornado risk. There's also a little bit of circulation up here too. But yeah, this area near Highway 47 really is the main area there that I'd be looking at. But it's going to be a waiting game, I think, today. I honestly thought we were going to see something really quick here, but so far it's not too shabby. There's power outages in Connecticut? Probably. Let me check on here. Another cool feature on Radar Omega is that you can look at all the power outage data. So you can go state by state now and see all the power outage data. Right now, there's about 5,000 customers without power in Connecticut. So that's a little under a fifth or a half of a percent of people without power in Connecticut. Massachusetts currently has 1,200 without power, so it's not too shabby. New York has about 9,000 people without power. And again, a lot of this is from the damaging wind threat that's been ongoing. And most of the other states not really too shabby. So the power outages haven't been too big of an issue, but you know, a few thousand people is definitely, it sounds like a large number, but comparatively how large the state is, it's not horrible. There are some power outages there. 100% yummy breadsticks. I agree. Chad, I will get to the tropical system in 1 second. I actually wanted to talk about that. Thank you, Reed, for the $5 super chat. Best weather chaser out there. I'm not a chaser, but I do appreciate your generosity. I cover weather. I call myself a weather coverage person. Great name. This is, by the way, the tropical, or not really tropical, it's not a tropical storm, but it's a tropical disturbance just off the coast of Georgia and Florida right now. I wanted to talk about this because it's actually really interesting. This right here is where the center of this system is. We actually have a lot of spin on this right now, and many people think that this is a tropical storm. I mean, it looks like one, right? I mean, the winds right now, I think, are near 40 miles per hour or 35 miles per hour, whatever it is. I was actually going to chase this today if it did become a tropical storm. I was actually going to go chase this. It has not developed into a tropical storm, but it still looks kind of cool here on the reflectivity. With all that said, the problem with this is that it is such a sheared system. You can actually go to the satellite imagery, which I'm going to show you guys. Let's find wherever the satellite is on here. I can also show you on here, but I'm going to show you a couple different views of this. So this is what it looks like on satellite. You can see it's completely open. Like it's basically sheared off. The actual storm itself is completely sheared off here. All the thunderstorm activities down here. This is where the center of this low pressure system is. So that's kind of an interesting little feature there. It's just such a high shear environment that it's completely sheared off. Here's another view of that as well on a satellite. So you'll see that right here. Again, notice all that thunderstorm activity. Notice that swirl right here. That right there is where that tropical system, quote unquote, is, but it's actually not a tropical storm. Again, it's just completely been sheared off. There's just such a high amount of shear, and tropical storms or hurricanes do not do well when there's a lot of shear. So in this case, you know, it's just too much shear, and it's very open. Now, a lot of people were like, well, there was this tropical storm Danny that happened back in 2021 or whatever year it was that produced, you know, a tropical storm that looked exactly like this. Well, I actually agree with that. I think that this could very well be at least a tropical depression, but once again, National Hurricane Center kind of makes the call on that. But either way, it is definitely an impressive looking little system. A lot of spin with this. The National Hurricane Center did put a 60% chance of this being or developing into something like a tropical depression or storm over the next 48 hours, which would have to develop in the next like 3 hours before this actually makes landfall. It will probably be making landfall near Kingsland, Georgia, maybe back over north of Jacksonville. But I would have legitimately chased this if it wasn't for it not being a tropical storm. So that would have been pretty cool, but it didn't happen. So we're not chasing. Too long of a drive now to actually go chase that. Thank you, Carrie, for the $5 super chat. Best weather coverage person out there. I appreciate that. Thank you, JP, for also becoming a member. And welcome to the Velocities. Hopefully today isn't too bad. Again, kind of went, I mean, I was going to go live for the first tornado warning in Iowa, but it just didn't look too concerning. It looked a little bit more concerning when we went live, but so far it's not looking too shabby to start the day. Here's the new live shot here out of northwestern Iowa. This is where that storm is, has at least some broad rotation. Rain wrapped entirely now from where we saw that little lowering, kind of that little storm base. Back over here to the left, there's also a storm right here that's developed. So this is the storm that's actually to the east of the storm that we've been talking about. Let me go to radar. So this is the one I was just showing you back over east of Spencer. So that's what that live cam was looking at. And the live cam's looking at this right here, where we did have a view kind of the south side of the storm, but a lot of the rain is kind of interfering now with the view of this. But we'll continue to watch this. It's back over and oh, there's a person coming in right now. Maybe they heard lightning or something, or heard thunder, I should say, and now they're all coming in. Thank you, Crazy Nurse, for becoming a moderate velocity member, and welcome to the Velocities. Have I ever lost power while streaming? I've only lost internet while streaming, and it only happened once or twice, I think. I think twice. It happened recently, probably about a month and a half ago. So, we have lost power before. Or internet, I mean, but not power. I don't think we've ever lost power. Thank you, Drezzy, for the super chat. There should be a tornado somewhere today. I think there will be. Just a matter of time. We have 21 severe thunderstorm warnings. We were actually at 29 severe thunderstorm warnings before this stream began. So we had plenty of warnings. And we still have a lot of warnings right now, but nothing that looks super imminent right now. Has Connor said anything, by the way? I don't know if he just canceled the live stream because nothing was developing. I don't know if anybody was tuning into him. I'm just curious. I'm guessing he's just waiting for storms to develop. This camera is moving. What you're seeing on your screen is raindrops. So this is a live camera on Radar Omega, which you can watch live cameras just like this on the Radar Omega app with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. Thank you, Albert, and as well as Melon, for becoming moderate velocity members, and welcome to the Velocities. I've been under at least 2 tornado warnings when I'm live, but possibly a bit more than that. Connor's stuck in mud. There's no way he's stuck in mud again. Thank you, Heather, for the $20 super chat. I don't think Kansas City will have any issues today. I just want to point this out. This is one of the new warnings that we just got. What is going on with this polygon? Back over in San Juan in Utah. I'm going to go check that out real quick. What is going on here? We got like 2 polygons. Is this a county line? I can't really tell. I don't think it is. Some weird stuff happening out here. It's in southeastern parts of Utah. Interesting polygon shape. I mean, like this, for some reason, they're different polygons. I'm not sure what was going on there. It's not a CWA region, I don't think. I could be wrong, though. Is that a mountain? I don't know. I've never been to Utah. I've never covered Utah in a live stream, I don't think. And Utah is actually in the risk today, which is kind of ironic. We've never covered Washington. I don't think we've covered Oregon, and I don't really think we've ever covered Utah. Very minimally, maybe Utah. So maybe like once. Like, we hardly ever cover those areas. Usually the severe weather on the west side of the Rocky Mountains is not that bad. Usually it's just minimal stuff. Anywhere west of the Rockies is usually just, you know, ordinary storms. I mean, there's usually nothing out there. But today might be an exception. We'll see. There is a 5% tornado risk in Montana, which does not happen very often, but so far nothing's really developed there. Have I covered California? I have covered California. Yeah, we've covered it actually a few times. We've covered California for the prolific rain event that happened with the atmospheric rivers. I believe that was back in the beginning of 2023, maybe? Or end of 2022, maybe? I can't remember. It was December of one year. I think it was 2022 of December. Maybe. We covered the tropical storm that was coming into California. So we've done a couple of coverages for California. But again, nothing really too out of the ordinary, really, there. We've also covered a couple tornado warnings there. But again, those were real. We have not covered California, I don't think, in a year. So it's been quite a while. The Storm Prediction Center just gone ahead and put out a new mesoscale discussion. This is going to be for those back over northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. Trends are being monitored for a possible downstream watch assurance in northern Iowa and far southern, Minnesota. Severe hail and wind and a couple of tornadoes do appear possible. So probably going to be a severe thunderstorm watch that'll be issued in this area as long as things do start to get going. Let me check out the details here. Low-level shear will remain somewhat weak at the moment, but a couple of tornadoes may still occur with any sustained surface-based supercells. So that's what they're saying right now for this area. Which right now we are still looking at this live cam back over here in northwestern Iowa on Radar Omega. We're looking at... I want to look at this real quick, though. Let me try to... Can I do this? No, I don't think I can. Let me, no, I cannot change this. Let me just kind of zoom this out real quick. Oh, you can see my Windows Movie Maker. Fantastic. 1 second. I'm trying to show you this little detail here. So this live camera you can see right here. I'm not sure what exactly that is. I don't think it's a wall cloud, but it does look like maybe a small lowering right there. So that might be attached to this in some fashion. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like something there. At the very top left of your screen. It's kind of blocked out by my key up there, but there's a little bit of something there. Maybe some sort of lowering. I'm just going to write that out. Look at that writing. Fantastic. Yes, my Windows Movie Maker, I edit all my videos with. It is from 2014, I think. So it's about 10 years old. Pretty solid. It's kind of getting harder to see now. There's a lot of rain. Can't really tell what that is. I want to know what that is. I really wish we had a screen that did not block the entire thing out. Maybe we can do this. Let me do this real quick. I want you guys to see it. it's gonna look ugly, but I want to show you guys this. So this right here is what we're talking about. It's gonna get pretty rain wrapped here in a second, but there is something there. I can't really tell. It looks like a little lowering though, by the looks of it here in Iowa. There's at least something there. And again, we're talking up back near this storm near Spencer. And again, it has a bit of a hook again. It's trying to develop still. Relatively weak low-level shear, but it could develop into something. There's just some little, kind of shape there, a little lowering there that we're looking at on the Radar Omega Cyclone port. Yeah, there's something there. And we're not going to see it here in a second because it's getting pretty rain-wrapped, but there is definitely something. Something here. Storm's trying to organize, that's for sure. There's been some storm mergers here, so it's trying to organize a little bit. How bad is Wisconsin going to get? I mean, Wisconsin's threat is mostly over the next few hours. There's nothing severe here currently, and honestly, the tornado risk should be very low at this point, because almost everything right now is outflow driven. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, we could still get an isolated spin up somewhere down here in southern Wisconsin, like down in here. But you got an outflow boundary right here that's very slowly pushing down to the south. I do think Wisconsin will get some severe weather, but I think the main concern will really come over the next few hours. Anytime between now and probably about 8 or 9 o'clock would be the time frame to watch for. Now that little lowering that we were looking at, it's kind of hidden now behind the clouds, so we really can't see it anymore. Oh, there goes a bird. Still some light showers in the vicinity here of the Arnold Park area of northwestern Iowa. I'm not wearing a Culver shirt today. I do not want to cover a tornado. We don't need more tornadoes. We've already had plenty of those in April and May. We don't need more. Even though it is a possibility today, and we will probably see a tornado at some point. We don't need more. Find it hilarious that people under these cameras don't know they're being watched by thousands of people. Somebody should tell one of these two people sitting here at the bar table. You guys can't even see them. Those two people right there. Somebody tell them that you're on max velocity. They got tornado trackers for becoming a minimum velocity member. Somebody has to tell them. There's actually a few people there. A few people are visible on the camera. This camera always has people. This is a very popular spot here in northwestern Iowa. A lot of people are here during the summer, especially because it's just it's a place to be. It's a nice little place to be. We could get another tornado warning on this. I don't know if we will, but there is at least some broad circulation trying to develop here south of Fostoria. And again, what we were just looking at a moment ago on this live camera, it looked like a lowering. Did not look imminent, but there was at least some sort of lowering on this. So again, I would not be shocked if we did end up getting maybe some sort of tornado warning at some point on this, but we'll have to wait and see. There's at least some lowering, but again, did not look imminent. We just got a warning in South Dakota. There it is. New warning north of Salem for wind and hail. Nothing crazy on this yet. This activity that's back up here near Madison and Mitchell will be mostly wind and hail. The tornado risk that we're going to be watching for is going to be any storms that develop in this environment. So far, nothing has developed, but we have had a couple little storms develop, but nothing's really grown into anything. So this area in particular is what we're going to be watching for over the next few hours for the greatest tornado risk. Will anything develop? I thought it was like a 98% chance that we're going to see something develop, and thus far, nothing has developed. The HRRR model still shows storms developing here near Vermilion. And that's as of 5 o'clock, which it's right now 5:10, and nothing's there. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see anything there. If I were chasing today, I would have probably been over there, too. But nothing's developed there so far. Can I show the Spencer cam? What's the Spencer cam? What, this one? I don't think we don't have a Spencer cam at all. There is a traffic cam southeast of Spencer, but I don't see anything on that right now. There are a couple of other live cams that we have, but nothing looking crazy. We do have the virtual rail fans too on the right side of your screen. We do have a few of those for today, and we'll be keeping a close eye on them to see if we do see anything out of any of the storms that we have. There are a ton of them, so we'll be keeping a close eye on those too. The slide has turned into a water slide. I saw that. Yeah, this has turned into a legitimate water slide from the rain that's falling. I don't even know what this is right here. I couldn't tell you. Looks like a wood plank. Got a boat going across the river. I'm surprised that people are out here on like the river today. With it, with there being a thunderstorm literally in the area. Mind-boggling to me. Plywood floaty? What? I just don't think so. Maybe though, I don't know. That's a weird floaty. It's like splinters are waiting to happen if you go on that thing. I'm trying to see if we have any other live cams outside of this. Oh, we do have Fort Madison in Iowa. This is the Fort Madison, Iowa live camera. Okay, it's already broken. Oh, nope, it's coming back. Might lag for a second, it should load in. Pretty skies out here, got some growing cumulus clouds over in eastern Iowa. Nothing imminent, but camera's a little bit bugged out right now, but yeah. We have a whole dashboard here of live cameras with virtual railfan, literally all across the Midwest. We have 9 different cameras, so we have an entire catalog here of live cameras back over in parts of the Midwest. Nothing to really see right now on any of these. We got one in Quincy, got one in Burlington, Galesburg, Illinois, Fort Madison, as I mentioned before. This one was probably the coolest one with some growing cumulus clouds. We also have some back over in the Central Plains, but nothing to see right now over there. They have added a new severe thunderstorm warning for Spencer. That is going to be for damaging winds that go up to 60 miles per hour and $half sized hail. We are back up to 25 severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, they are all across the country right now. We got some over in Montana. We also got some back over in Utah. We got some in Arizona. We got New Mexico, Colorado in the house. We got Wyoming. We got Nebraska. We got South Dakota. We got New York, Pennsylvania. Nothing actually in New England right now, but there was earlier. And right now it looks mostly like a wind threat for anywhere in southern New England right now. Southeastern Rochester, nothing really happening there. So, yeah, that's not too bad right now. There's 25 warnings, but really the worst of the weather right now is just kind of all over the place. The greatest concern, again, will probably be here in Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, but so far, nothing's really gotten going quite yet. Thank you to Rain for becoming a minimum velocity member. Thank you, Mark, for the $10 super chat. I accidentally hit the dislike button the other day. My bad. How could you do that? No, you're fine. I don't even think it does anything. I don't think likes or dislikes do anything on YouTube anymore. Like, legitimately. If they do, it's very, very minimal. So, don't worry about it. I don't think they really do anything, though. Which is why I never tell people to like the stream, even though you can, if you want. After all, it is free to do. We actually have a live cam in Springfield, Massachusetts. I didn't even know that. We should have been looking at Springfield, Massachusetts. This is the live virtual railfan in Springfield right now. I want to go a little bit back here and see. What was a storm rolling in here earlier? I'm going to put it on my other monitor and go back here for a second. I just want to see if we could see anything earlier. It only goes back like an hour. Yeah, this was back over in Springfield about like an hour ago on the virtual railfan. Gonna take a second to load. Raining out there. We kind of missed when the storm was rolling through. I don't know if we have any other live cameras in New England. There's a ton of live cams all over the place with this. I'm just trying to find the ones that have any views of anything. While we wait for storms to get going here, even though we have 25 warnings. We got Kansas. We got Virginia. Rhode Island. Oh, Rhode Island. Actually, let's look at Rhode Island. Nothing really there. It's just raining. I was hoping we could maybe see a shelf cloud over there. That's what I was trying to look for. Because there are, again, there's a line of storms back over there in New England. But it doesn't look like anything too crazy. Mostly just rain. Norwalk, Connecticut also has one, but no view of anything there. We got Maryland. I didn't even know we had Cumberland, Maryland. We actually could have used that on that Maryland live stream that we had. It lags every time it pulls up a virtual railfan. What do you mean? Hey, James, for becoming a moderate velocity member. Welcome to the Velocities. Any bad weather heading towards Boston, Massachusetts? Not really, just lightning. There isn't much in the Northeast. I mean, again, we do have... We did not put New England in the thumbnail today for a reason, because I didn't really think it'd be that concerning other than just wind. So, the only areas that I put in the thumbnail were basically... I'll show you again the risk today. Again, today's severe weather risk includes 23 states. All right, it's a relatively large area. And again, you got the risk back over here in the Rockies. Then it goes all the way back over here into Ohio. Again, the main concern really, I think today will be in this area. That's if storms do develop. So that'll be the main concern. Back over in the Northeast, there is a marginal threat, but it's mostly just for wind. Hey, Cyclonic, for the $2 super chat. Can you look at the storm near Ainsworth, Nebraska? There's a storm over there? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, there you go. There's actually a storm developing here. So this is the first actual storm that's gotten going over here today. Been blown up here for a little while. There is a tornado possible label on this. Not really seeing a whole lot of rotation yet, but it does have that hook shape already to it. So this is definitely a storm to watch for. It's literally the same place that we covered yesterday for like 2 hours. So back over here in northern Nebraska. Same exact area. Crazy stuff. By the way, this is from Logan Wall on Twitter from earlier, back over in Colorado. Look at that. That is crazy. Back over in Parker, Colorado. Really crazy shot there. Absolutely spectacular looking storm. Looks like AI. It kind of does. There might be some sort of editing to it. I don't think it's fully AI though. It might be. I don't know. If it is, unfortunate. It does kind of look edited, but it doesn't look fully AI. Just saw Connor on Storm Intermedia. Yeah, I saw that too. Let me let's go to here.
It's gonna die. I hope it dies.
It's apparently an old stream from yesterday that I didn't fix. Yeah, bottom right of your screen, there's Connor Croft. Chillaxing. Waiting. Pretty nice view though over that lake. What is that thing in the middle of the lake right now? What is that? Is that a person? Is that a shark? Maybe a shark is coming after Connor. Might have to warn him. Here in South Dakota. His stream is down. Yeah, Connor's not live. He might go live if storms get going, but there's nothing happening right now. It's a jet ski? Oh, is that what that is? Can't even tell. It looks so tiny. Oh no, not the USB. It's a Sharknado. Imagine. That'd be crazy. They don't have a tornado possible label on this new warning, by the way, near Broken Bow, Nebraska. Now, I'm not going to be a backseat driver, but I do think this storm over here would be a pretty good one to chase. It's just so far away from where Connor is right now. And everybody else. I think this would be like a solid 3-hour drive to get to Ainsworth from where they are right now. But maybe something gets going here, we'll see. I don't know. Just gonna have to wait and see. Is that clip of the half-naked man flipping Connor off online somewhere? Yeah, that's on Connor's Twitter. I also mentioned I put a comment on Twitter on it. So if you just go to my page, you can find it too. But if you just look up Connor Croft, I think it's one of his most recent posts. Tornado season is over now. We're streaming rain showers. Absolutely. That is exactly why we went live today. I wanted to stream a couple of rain showers out here to keep you guys informed about the rain We can confirm that there is rain right now near Spencer in Nebraska or in Iowa. Cursed shirt. I'm not wearing a cursed shirt. No, legitimately, I went live because I actually think we could get some tornadoes here today. I mean, if I knew that there was only gonna be one tornado warning, we would have just waited probably until like 6 to go live, but it's fine. I mean, really, again, the computer models are all hinting at storms developing right around like now in this area in South Dakota and Nebraska. So far, we haven't really had much in that corridor. We do have this storm near Answorth that looks pretty, you know, interesting. At least looks like something that could be a potential threat of a tornado. But yeah. You know we're down bad if we're going live for a rain shower, though. Like, low-key. The end of times. Going live for rain showers. Going live for a couple of raindrops over in Massachusetts. Let's do it. That was a tropical storm in the Gulf. We don't have any tropical storms in the Gulf right now. We have an area of development, but that's not really going to do much in the United States. Extreme South Texas might get something out of that. Really, the only thing that I have any concern about right now for the United States is this thing right here. Got a little tropical disturbance. That's Invest 92L moving towards Kingsland, Georgia. Oh, by the way, we are now live intercepting a boater. That's a boat. Connor Croft is watching on with Storm Winter Media there as well. Intercepting a boat here on live streams. We're also turning into a... This is now turning into a oops, wrong screen. This is a live stream now for intercepting boats. It's a boat-nado. But yeah, this is Invest 92L. Again, I don't know if it'll actually develop into anything, but it looks cool on radar. It's pretty cool looking. Again, I would have gone live chasing this today if I knew. I would have probably gone chasing for this. Even if the weather, like, if the weather stays as calm it is right now, we don't get anything else, like, I would have gone live for this, low-key. I would have gone chasing. My target spot would have been, like, St. Mary's or Fernandina Beach. Can't even pronounce that. We'd have to get, like, a full-blown, you know, storm chasing setup, though. We have to get, like, the, you know, the tripod mount. We got to get the stream overlays, all that stuff ready to go. I'm not sure how complicated that is. I'd have to talk to Connor about it, or somebody like that. Do I have a storm chasing channel? If we do storm chasing, it would just be on this channel. You actually see the velocities, by the way. There is some spin here, obviously. It's getting pretty dark in Kearney right now. We have a live camera there. Let's go over to Kearney real quick. There's some storms over to the west of Kearney. Kearney, Nebraska. Where is Kearney? There it is. Where did Max get the storm light behind his head? Got it from a tornado. Where is Kearney? There it is. All right. This is a live shot out of Kearney, Nebraska right now. James, you might make overlays. I need to figure out how to set up everything though. Like I don't know the back end. I could do overlays shouldn't be that hard, but I'm trying to figure out how to actually do the back end of things. If I can figure that out, I will do some storm chasing. But I'll figure out the back end. Interesting thumbnail. It is an interesting thumbnail today. Whoa! Did Connor just griddy?
I don't see Connor.
Holy crap! Holy crap! We have Connor griddying. It's a griddy emergency.
Oh, okay.
He knows we're live. I think. the title after the stream, the Griddy Emergency. In South Dakota. Clip it and ship it.
What's up, Storm Runner Media stream?
Oh, man. That was epic. That was very epic.
Storms are not happening.
Alright, is Stormer Media gonna do it too? We need Stormer Media to do a Griddy too. Is he flossing? What was that? Was he trying to floss? We need the Griddy. Where's Ben Williams? We need him to do a Griddy too.
Dude, look in the distance, there's like cliffs.
You know, if you're ginger, you automatically have 20% lower IQ.
That is not true.
You know that, Chad?
Actually, if you're blonde, you have a lower IQ.
They all said
Max, do the gritty. I'm not doing a gritty right now. We need 20 new members for that.
It takes a minute.
Let's go back and watch this history. He actually did it the other way too. He just didn't pull up quick enough.
It's front now. Yeah, I put it on the front for you.
Oh
Look
man,
at that guy.
that way looked horrible. The other way looked better.
I don't see Connor. It takes
Look at that. That's history right there.
The stream's usually about 20 seconds.
Gritty
long.
moving east.
Connor can do Zumba.
Oh man.
Apparently you can do Zumba.
You know what Zumba is?
It's like
It's those like classes I like to.
Well, that was something. Highlight of the stream so far. Thank you, Wyoming, for becoming a member. And welcome to the Velocities. Is that Freddy's voice? I don't think Freddy's there. It's either Garrett or Ben. I haven't really been listening, though. This is the virtual rail fan, as mentioned before, in Kearney, Nebraska. Got some very ominous skies. Got some birds flying around. I don't even know if Connor's watching. He must be watching if he just did that on our stream. He has to be. He knows we have nothing else to watch. Alright, we do have a tornado warning now. A new tornado warning for Brown County, Nebraska. I believe it's this storm right here. That is going to be tornado warned. It's radar indicated. Hasn't popped up on here yet. This is a brand new tornado warning for Brown County, Nebraska. It's this one right here. Radar indicated rotation near Highway 7. If you are in this warning, seek shelter immediately away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. As there is again a brand new tornado warning. I don't personally see a whole lot of rotation. I mean, we got some right here, but that's kind of in the inflow right now. The area where we would be watching for that tornado threat would be there. So we still have a hook echo, pretty strong inflow. Definitely could drop a tornado. This is almost the same exact area that we covered yesterday. It is a very rural part of Nebraska, but it's near Raven, Nebraska. We'll wait to see what the population is in this warning. But main concern really would be people that are driving along Highway 7 between Ainsworth and Brewster. So just avoid this area if you're in the path, or if you're in this warning or going towards this warning, just avoid this area, as we could get a tornado out of this. And it's definitely an organized supercell. It looks pretty impressive on radar. There's no doubt about that. National Weather Service tornado page on Twitter is not updating, so I don't know the population. This is the same spot. It's not the same exact spot. Or actually, maybe it is. I mean, we kind of covered this area yesterday. It was more up here, I think, but not too far off. If we zoom in here, the only place is Raven, which I don't even think there's any, there's like a couple roads here. So basically anywhere from the Elmsmere Road area northward, that's where the strongest area of rotation is, approaching Highway 7. Probably got some farmland in here as well. Let me look this up real quick. I'm gonna see what we got here. I think Raven, Nebraska has like a population of like 5. Let me see. I'm trying to pull up the map to see what we got here, because this is again a very rural area. This is the map of the warning that we have right now of Raven. So, and not really much here. Just north of Sandy Meadow Pups. There you go. How's it going, bro? Welcome back. Still nothing on the ground here, but we do have some rotation. Seek shelter if you're in the warning near Raven, away from windows. Lowest floor possible as it moves to the east. Check the Nebraska storms. I mean, we're currently looking at the Nebraska storms. We have the elongated line of storms down here too, back over near Lexington. But the majority of this right now is just wind. I believe this might be some rotation here on Kanto. Let me see the other radar site here. We have a little bit of rotation. Yeah, there's a little bit of rotation also north of Okanto, going towards Broken Bow and the Ansley area. So there's at least some circulation. That's a unwarned area of rotation right now. It's mostly just severe. And it looks like wind anywhere else. Like, really, the main concern right now for a tornado would be this storm right here. Which, again, for those that are wondering, this is like the same exact area that we covered yesterday. If you were here yesterday, it's just south of Ainsworth. Very similar looking storm, too, to yesterday. The only problem yesterday's storm had was all the storm mergers. This one doesn't really have that happening, so... But still has a pretty impressive hook echo, inflow, all that sort of stuff. Still very well there. Could produce a tornado. Is that a hook forming? We've had a hook on this storm for quite a while. Just nothing really too crazy when it comes to rotation. But it is definitely trying to organize. Yeah, this storm right now is moving east at about 15 miles per hour, by the way, so it's not really fast moving. It's going to be relatively slow. If it does impact any areas, it'd be Route 183, just to the north of Rose, Nebraska. Long term, it's probably just going to stay very rural. I mean, maybe like O'Neill in like 5 hours at this rate. Like, it's not a very fast-moving storm. Do have a new severe thunderstorm warning also over in Iowa. This can be for Emmitsburg. It's going to be this storm right here. Damaging winds and hail being a possibility. And it is currently moving off to the east. So this right here is a new storm to be watching for, going in this direction right now towards Emmitsburg and the Gratinger area, northwest of West Bend. It looks like it's starting to clear out right now to this lake back over near Arnold's Park. Maybe that person on the bottom left of our screen is a maybe a fan of our channel. Who knows? We have a little bit of rotation, by the way, over east of Grover in Colorado. Again, another really rural area, so Highway 71 would be in the track of this. Really no main town locations here. Just letting you know, though, if you're in this area, just stay weather aware. A little bit of broad circulation there. This rotation is coming together a little bit more. So again, we got a hook echo here. Do have a little bit more rotation developing on this, so it's definitely organizing a bit more right now, just south of Ainsworth in Nebraska. Moving east at 15 miles per hour. Tornado warning in Canada. Let's check it out. I'm guessing it's in Montana, or north of Montana. But I have to turn on weather alerts for Canada. I'll check it out. Do I already have tornado warnings on? Do I not? I do. Oh, okay. I can actually go look. It is. It's going to be in kind of like the middle of nowhere near Davidson. Maybe I had a brief tornado west of Davidson. Maybe something brief there. Not much, but there was something brief. It's back over northwest of Girvan. In Canada. I don't know what part of Canada this is. I forgot to do millimeters for rainfall. I was about to say, I thought that said 70 inches of rain for a second. It's going towards Davidson in Canada, so just stay in your safe place if you're in that warning. It's not as strong as the last scan. This is the one in Nebraska, again, south of Ainsworth and south of Long Pine. Still got a hook echo, still got an inflow. Very well could produce a tornado. Rotation is still getting a bit stronger. It has been intensifying for the last few minutes now, so it's very possible that it does produce a tornado here soon. While we wait for the next radar scan, this is back over in Kearney, Nebraska right now, where there is a line of storms just off to the west of Kearney. And this is that live shot on Virtual Railfan. And again, notice very ominous skies out there right now. Sunshine on the left where there aren't storms, dark skies on the right where that entire line of thunderstorms is right now. So, obviously pretty dark skies, which for a line of storms like this is not too shocking. Remember the guy running on this Virtual Railfan? I do. Yeah, I think a lot of us remember when the person was running on the screen. That was crazy. Ryan Scholl just posted on Twitter, "We've never been so cooked." He's a storm chaser for those that don't know. Yeah, today's environment has not panned out thus far. You know, today was an event where I actually thought after the trend, at least the models, when I was looking this morning, kind of looked at the cams and all that sort of stuff, I really thought we would have some pretty crazy activity today. So far it hasn't, which again, I'm not saying it won't be. We still got at least a few hours until the tornado risk really starts to go down, but you know, the computer models were really showing every single run that there would be a bunch of storms right along the Nebraska and South Dakota border, which is where the greatest concern was for today. Nothing's gotten going so far, I don't think, aside from this storm, which isn't really in the target zone per se. Which again, this is where all the storm chasers are located for the most part right now on Radar Omega, which you can watch these storm chasers, by the way, with the Radar Omega app, with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. But yeah, just nothing currently happening there. It's been pretty slow. Do have 17 severe thunderstorm warnings, but as I mentioned before, they are all across the country. There's nothing really organized. Got some stuff happening over in like Utah and Colorado. Got some stuff happening back over in Montana. So it's kind of happening all over the place right now. Do have some rotation though with this storm that's south of Ainsworth, Nebraska. Could produce a tornado, just weak rotation right now. Going north of Kearney. Yeah, I think most of that activity south here is probably just going to stay north of Kearney. I might take that back though. I mean, if there's some sort of outflow boundary or something moving south here that's initiating more of this convection, these storms actually might reach Kearney. But I don't think they'll be severe unless this really intensifies. Because right now it doesn't look too intense. No debris signature either, by the way, just for the record. Could even have a land spout right here, but I kind of doubt it. Is Ohio going to get hit tonight? There will be some storms over there, but right now, it doesn't appear like it's going to be anything that significant. It would be mostly just wind and some hail. That's about it. I don't think Connor's going to go live. I don't think he will either unless something fires. Again, I don't think anybody's going... I don't think he's going to go live if nothing happens. Connor just posted the weirdest thing on Twitter ever. Goodness. He posts the weirdest videos over the last few days. Confirmed train in Fort Madison. Oh, did a train just go by? Tornado warning has just been updated. It is still radar indicated, so nothing new there. This is the latest scan. Moving east at 15 miles per hour right now. Am I bored? No, just not much to really talk about. It's more chill. It's a much more chill live stream than we usually have. It's been very chill so far. I mean, this storm is barely moving. It's approaching Highway 7. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. All the other severe storms, for the most part right now, are just isolated wind and hail. We have some hailstorms back over in, like, Montana and Utah that are a bit more significant, but yet again, just kind of ordinary stuff out here. Nothing out of the ordinary when it comes to severe weather in these areas. Back over in Montana was another tornado risk that we had. The reflectivity values are off the charts right now in the storm northwest of Carter. Might even have a little bit of rotation developing west of Dutton in Montana. But again, just nothing too crazy over here thus far. Love to see it's chill. I know. It's nice to have a bit more of a chill day. Hopefully it stays that way, but who knows? It might not. How about southwest Minnesota? It's going to be contingent really more on anything of these storms staying alive back over here north of Sioux Falls, which they probably will, but mostly just a wind threat, hail threat, maybe some flooding. Are they merging? Yeah, the storms over in Nebraska are merging right now. I mean, honestly, we'll have to see how this activity does interact. As long as these storms merge, I think this storm is not going to be tornadic for very long. If it keeps merging. If we just get one storm merger, which it doesn't look like that's going to happen, there could be a more significant tornado risk that develops, but that's a much more unlikely scenario right now. Will the storms reach southern South Dakota? We're just waiting for storms to develop up there. Rotation is starting to weaken already, so probably that storm merger is probably going to play a pretty big part into that there. Let's go back to Michigan real quick. A couple people were asking about it. We do have some outflow-driven storms right now moving towards Detroit. This is a radar omega cyclone port. Nothing really in the picture right now near Detroit, but we do have an outflow boundary that's moving into southeast Michigan right now. Main concern here will just be gusty winds. That's really about it. I don't think we're going to get much severe here. Might get something near Saginaw. There actually is a little bit of broad rotation here south of Saginaw. So if that can organize, we actually could get a quick spin up here in Michigan, kind of like we had yesterday. So that's north of Flint right now. We'll have to watch that. There's some weak rotation there. Nothing imminent, but it's something. I think your merch products are hilarious and cute and funny. The Drunk Nada one's the best one. We're gonna have new flying trampoline merch eventually, too. Do I have a little bit of rotation near Summit right now? This is in Summit, Wisconsin. It's relatively a rain-wrapped area of circulation, but there is a little bit of rotation there in Wisconsin. So, might get a warning on that. We'll see. Flying Fences Friday. It is Flying Fences Friday. We were thinking about making a design or shirt or something for every day of the week that we have. So, we are thinking about doing that. Like a full-blown collection of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like a full collection of every day. Probably one of each thing for every day when it comes to like maybe a shirt. And then maybe like a magnet or something like that. I don't know. We're at least thinking about doing a shirt for every day. Which would be sick. I think it'll come out really well when we're done with it, but who knows when that'll actually be done. Might be a while. If the weather stays really quiet for the next couple months, it might be pretty soon, but... A Drunk NATO magnet? Do we not already have one? We should have one. If it's not already out, then we'll have to put one out there. I thought we already had it. This tornado warning, by the way, the rotation is broadening. We do have, again, a storm merger happening right now. So long term, the tornado threat is uncertain. Short term, it is very low with this merger. But it could increase again depending on how things go with the merging. So we'll see. Once again, this is south of Ainsworth right now. Okay. A new tornado warning in Iowa. That's going to be near Palo Alto, Iowa. So if you are in Palo Alto, Iowa, make sure that you're seeking shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. That's going to be back over near Emmitsburg. And this, again, going to be radar-indicated rotation. So nothing confirmed on this, but there is a new tornado warning now near Emmitsburg. Audio is really quiet. That would be why. There you go.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right, so this is your new tornado warning near Emmitsburg, south of the Grettinger area, near Highway 4. And this is a storm, by the way, that was rotating quite a bit earlier, just for the record. You actually can see the rotation here near Ruthven. It's moving east-southeast, has potential for a tornado, has been rotating for a while, and they have at least issued a warning on this for Emmitsburg, the Ayrshire and Curlew areas of northwestern Iowa. East-southeast. You should be able to hear the warning sound now. I had my audio off for some reason. Let's see if we have any live cams over here. We might. Wow, this is the storm that we're talking about. Sheesh, it's an impressive storm. I mean, I think the storm's actually over here, but we have a very low cloud base here on the horizon. This is back over in Mason City as of 3 minutes ago. I think that's the same storm. Let me double check here. It might not be. That actually might be this. That might be this right here. Might be that. Let me see if we have any other view of it though. Yeah, I think that might be the storm to the north. I'm not entirely sure, but it says it's looking north on US 18. So is this looking north? For anybody that's in the area, is this looking north? I believe it is. If it's looking north, that's the other storm. Regardless, we should have a view of it once it gets a little bit closer. Again, we do still have some rotation near Ruthven, moving towards Emmitsburg and Ayrshire. So continue to stay in your safe place if you're in this warning in northwestern Iowa. Down the road, it will be going towards Cylinder, West Bend, and the Whitemore area. We'll be in the track of it as well. Iowa hasn't gotten a break this year with tornadoes. Yeah, it's been crazy in Iowa this year. It's been very, very active. US 18 runs east to west. So this is looking... Huh. That's interesting. So this, then if that's true, this is actually looking at the tornadic storm, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to see what the motion looks like. It's not a live camera. It's just, it's taking photos over like 4 minutes. But pretty impressive. I mean, if this is the storm, it is definitely a pretty low cloud base, giving you an idea that there's a lot of moisture in the low levels. And again, presumably that would be the storm over there, because that's where the majority of the rain shaft is. So we'll see. That might be it. Either way, if you are in this area, we do still have rotation. Definitely a possibility that it does produce a tornado. The storm near the Ainsworth area, rotation has broadened out quite a bit on this one. Do have a little bit of circulation on the northeast side of the warning that's not associated with that initial area of rotation. Could drop a tornado, but again, that's going to be on South Pine Avenue. It's really just another area that maybe some cars are driving along in Nebraska, but nothing, populated by any means. I think there might be like 1 or 2 farms, so it's nothing too crazy there. We'll have another radar scan on this in just a second. Waiting on that. east to west highways are even numbers and north to south highways are odd numbers. That's news to me. Didn't know that. I think the storm developing south of Sioux Falls will do anything significant. Oh, this little shower that's blown up. It might do something. It's too early to tell, though. I mean, so far what we've seen develop here in southeastern South Dakota has done nothing. So, I mean, this would be where we're watching for a tornado risk. But so far, nothing has gotten going here. So if nothing gets going, I wouldn't be concerned. But if you start to see more of these red and pink colors showing up, that's when we have to start watching it more closely for a severe weather risk. But right now, it's just a shower. Might try to do something. We'll see. Then one north of Sioux Falls is just wind. Wind and hail. That's it. I don't think that will produce any tornadic activity. A couple of days ago, I was outside in the backyard doing yard work, and I was dumping rain and blowing hard 50-mile-per-hour winds. Why are you outside in that type of weather, is what I'm wondering. Doing yard work. Camera just updated, and I don't really know if this is the same exact storm that we're talking about. I think it is, because this is the camera back over near Mason City, just off to the east. So if this is the same storm, still got a very low, cloud base. I'm not 100%. I'm not confident that that is actually looking at this storm. I feel like it is looking north, even though it's a camera on US 18. Because US 18 also goes north right here. I don't know. Just lost power because of a thunderstorm. There's been a lot of power outages, especially over in Connecticut. We had about almost 5,000 without power in Connecticut in the storms earlier. A pretty good amount of people without power there. Rotation on the latest scan, at least elevated, it doesn't show anything on the closest radar site. The one further away still does show that rotation over the Ruthven area, approaching Emmitsburg and the Ayrshire area. So again, if you're in this area, make sure that you are continuing to stay in your safe place, as we could get a tornado at any time. We are in a bit of a radar hole, sorta. So we don't have a great view of this particular storm on radar, but there is at least some rotation with this near Ruthven. Accidentally just put on the line tool, but this is the rotation. Wind's going towards the radar, and then the wind's going away from the radar right there. Oh, whoa, I can actually make these arrows bigger? Whoa! Alright. So that's your rotation right there. I did not know I could make the arrows larger. Now right there's your rotation. Hold shift to draw a square. Excuse me. Let's do a circle. Oh, look at that, right there. So that's your rotation right there. Kind of draw a nice little perfect circle right there. So that right there that we're looking at near Ruthven in Iowa is where we're looking at the rotation of this storm. So that's your rotation. How fancy. Emmitsburg will be in the track of it. Curlew in Iowa. Again, this is in northwestern Iowa for reference. Cylinder in the Whitemore area will eventually be in the track of this. Any chasers on this storm? I have no clue. I none that I know of. I mean, we have Stormrunner Media, we have Connor Croft. I know of a few others that are chasing today. I think almost everybody picked the target area of South Dakota and Nebraska. I don't really think anybody's picked the target zone of North, Iowa, for example. Yeah, this rotation's definitely a bit stronger than the last scan. It actually appears rain wrapped on this latest scan as well. This is the live shot as well. I just closed every single tab I have open. One moment, please. I hate when I do that. I always close it. I've been able to close so many tabs on these live streams. It's crazy. All right, there we go. But this is the storm that we're looking at right now. So, again, pretty low cloud base. It is very possible that we do get a tornado out of this. I'm not seeing anything clearly on this that looks like there's a tornado happening, but we could end up seeing something with this as it does approach. You know, Mason City, for example, which is still a little ways out from this storm, and perhaps some other areas that are in the vicinity, like, you know, Whitemore as well. So, again, that's the rotation that we're looking at right now. Just the west of Emmitsburg, approaching Ayrshire. Cylinder will be in the track of it. Highway 4 eventually. Just to the east of Dickens in northwestern Iowa. By the way, the tornado warning in Nebraska has been canceled. So that one was canceled. Rightfully so. I didn't think there was really too much of a concern with that one anymore. This is the live shot back over in just northwest of this storm in northwestern Iowa. We were talking about this at the beginning of the stream. This is the radar Omega cyclone port. We had a tornado warning in the area here earlier. I actually got a camera right here. Or not camera, yeah, that's a camera right there. that's a boat that's going out into the lake. Low-level clouds here, but this area probably going to be done with rain, at least for a little bit, until the next round of showers and thunderstorms enters into the area, which we do have some showers developing just to the west of the Spencer area and just west of Arnold Lake, or Arnold Park, one of the two. So showers and maybe some storms developing there just off to the west. Back over north of Sioux Falls, we do still have a storm here as well. It's going to be predominantly a wind threat, so nothing beyond that really expected at this time. Should be a pretty low risk of any severe weather, at least for the time being. But latest scan on this storm, still showing some rotation. That's your rotation right there, just west of Emmitsburg. So still has a potential to produce something. This is the live shot, again, on US 18, looking in the direction of this storm. Still pretty low-level clouds, as mentioned before. Large rain shaft right here as well. Nothing that looks like it's on the ground, but as I mentioned before, we could still see a tornado drop at any time as this storm does continue move to the east over the next several minutes. A squirrel for the $5 super chat. Fort Madison is actually in southeast Iowa, which isn't in the slight. There isn't any other live cams further northwest, so that's why I have that one. With that said, we actually do have a couple showers there. There is an outflow boundary. We could see something. We'll see. Fort Madison's way down here, but still. We have one in Burlington, too. It's fine. I'll look, but I don't think we have anything else that looks imminent. This is Stormer Media, by the way. Just going to show you their view real quick. They're back over in South Dakota near Yankton. So bottom right of your screen is Yankton. There's only a couple showers in the vicinity, but they're looking over a lake. Looks like a pretty view right now. Back over there. Vince got into an accident? Really? I didn't see anything on that. Hopefully he's okay. I don't see anything online about that. I don't know. Maybe I don't see it. I don't know. Hopefully they're okay, though. That's the area of rotation that we're looking at right now. Still over just to the west of Emmitsburg in Iowa. Again, could still produce a tornado. Moving east. This is moving east at approximately 30 miles per hour. So it's moving east-southeast 30 miles per hour right now. Continue to stay in your safe place if you're in this warning, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. and interior room of your home or building in northwestern Iowa. We are down to actually 9 severe thunderstorm warnings. That is the lowest we've been in hours. 1 tornado warning and 18 flash flood warnings. So flash flooding becoming more of a concern, especially back over in the Rocky Mountains regions like Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Wyoming. Also has a flash flood warning. So we have flash flood warnings popping up over in those areas right now quite a bit. Look on his YouTube page. Oh, is it on YouTube? I didn't see anything on Twitter. Hopefully they're okay. Oh, this just happened? Oh, I didn't realize we were chasing and it just happened. Hopefully they're okay. Jeez. I didn't know that just happened. I thought that was like maybe this morning or something. Jeez. Here's the latest scan in Iowa. That's west of Emmitsburg. A main concern still is going to be damaging winds with this, but there's potential for a tornado in northwest Iowa. Still tornado warning. This goes all the way until 6:15 Central Time. Actually, real quickly, this is in Kearney, Nebraska on the virtual rail fan. You actually see the storm starting to get closer here in Kearney. We got a cluster of storms rolling into this area. Give it 1 second. There you go. So you can actually see how ominous it's gotten. Got that line of storms moving in the direction here of Kearney. I don't think any of this is severe right now in southern Nebraska. There's only a little bit of severe weather. It's kind of in the central part of the state, but pretty ominous skies right now. Back over there in Kearney. We'll have storms there eventually, but again, main concern right now is going to be the threat for damaging winds over there. If there's anything severe, which actually there are no warnings right now in Nebraska that are in at least the central part of the state. So all wind as of right now. That's the activity that we're looking at. And again, this is Kearney for reference. And this would be looking in the direction that we're just looking. So there are some storms over there. All right, let's go back into Iowa here. Still got rotation on this. There's no doubt we still have rotation. I mean, again, this could produce a tornado. If it does, it'll probably be rain-wrapped. So that's what we're looking at right now, back over near Emmitsburg. And we don't really have any other information right now because there isn't really a whole lot to see here. Aside from this, which this is, again, the live shot as of a moment ago on this storm. And so, again, very low cloud deck. We'll be watching this area for the potential for a tornado on this. So that's the live shot here looking into the storm right now. What, is there a reason why the live shot stuck? It's not a video, it's just static images that come in every, like, few minutes. I don't think there's an actual video of this anywhere, but I could be wrong. It's just one of the traffic cams in Iowa. Some of them do play, some of them don't. That right there will be where we're watching for that potential. I mean, this is as of 6 minutes ago. We'll have a new, or 5 minutes ago. There will be a new one here in a second. So once we get the new one, I'll go back to that. But that's probably going to be one of our best shots of this storm. So we'll see if we can see anything there. Cylinder, what are these town names? I have no clue. There's some very, I mean, we got Babyhead, Texas. There's a lot of interesting town names. Thank you, Heather, for the $10 super chat. Do you have an update on Grants, New Mexico? Yeah, I can go there after this scan. Still rotation, it's just broad as of right now. Again, in Northwest Iowa. I'll check out Grants real quick. Make a list of goated town names? That'd be crazy. There's a lot of crazy town names. The worst of the storms have already moved out of Grants, New Mexico. It would be mostly just isolated wind and hail, and main concern really more than anything will be flooding out of this as this moves east. Yeah, Tucker, share it on Twitter. Yeah, mostly just a flooding risk over there. How many flash flood warnings in South Dakota? We only got the one in Madison and Mitchell. We'll probably have more of these as we go throughout the evening. And really, the greatest concern today will be flash flooding overall. We will have a potential for, obviously, a couple of tornadoes, damaging winds, all that sort of stuff. But so far, again, nothing's really happened in that department. We're just kind of waiting to see if anything gets going. There might be something. There might not be. Who knows? We're going to wait and see. And I don't really have any plans tonight, so... see what happens. This is the latest update on the live camera looking at this tornado warning cell. Just, again, very ominous skies right now. If there is a tornado, it would be in there somewhere. Can't really tell. Am I going live tomorrow? I think I will be live tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I like covering the Midwest, even if it's a low-end day. Okay. Thank you, Palladian, for becoming a maximum velocity member, and welcome to the Velocities. Yeah, hopefully Corey's alright, and Vince. Again, I just saw that. I thought that was something that happened maybe this morning or something. But apparently that happened not even like an hour ago. What does mogged mean? Does anybody know what mog means, or mogged? Hunter just responded to me and said, I would be scared if I got mogged like that too. What does that mean? I mean, I know I'm kind of like a boomer in a way, but like, I don't understand that terminology. Thank you, Epic, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. 7 vehicles involved? That's crazy. I don't know how it happened, but still, hopefully they're okay. It's a lot of vehicles for one crash. It's the latest scan, and they have now actually just canceled the tornado warning. Yay! No tornado warning for the time being. The only tornado warning that we currently have is going to be back over in Canada. So that's the only tornado warning that we currently have. Yeah, they didn't tweet on Twitter. That's why I was confused. It's on YouTube. I don't know how the crash happened or anything like that, but 7 cars is a lot for a car crash. I mean, that's not like a little, you know, it's not a little crash by any means. Is Alabama getting nasty weather? No, I don't think there's gonna be much down there. I mean, we got the tropical system that I mentioned earlier, which is actually about to make landfall. Invest 92L. It's about to make landfall near Florida and Georgia. Probably right around sunset, actually. It'll be making landfall. Again, I would have gone live for this. I would have gone live chasing, but Really does not look that interesting. You got the spin, and you clearly got something here, but all the storm activity's down here. Down near like Palm Coast and St. Augustine. There's like nothing up where the actual tropical system is. It's been completely sheared off in nature. But this is probably still, how many miles is this out? 28 miles. It actually might not make landfall until like 10 o'clock tonight. It might be a little bit. See the velocities though. Wind's going away and towards the radar. It's obviously a tropical, disturbance. It's spinning, in the way the low pressure system would spin, which is counterclockwise. But again, I don't think it's going to actually be named or anything like that, even though there's currently a 60% chance that it does develop. All right, let's explore the United States real quick. I'm just going to look and see if we have anything else right now on maybe one of these live cameras that we can look at. Oh, this is beautiful. We might not have tornadoes in, northwest Missouri today, but we do have a beautiful sun. No radar Omega cyclone ports. This has been one of the chillest severe weather coverages that we've had in at least 3 months. Gotta say that. Actually have a severe thunderstorm warning near Westerly in Connecticut. Before that line of storms moves out. Yeah, otherwise, not really much. I don't even know what we have to talk about anymore. Unless something develops up here, I don't know what we're gonna be talking about. This is one of like the one live streams that there's really just not much happening. It's crazy how quiet it is. Really kind of expected more. Let's go to Storm Intermediate real quick. They're looking at a storm in South Dakota.
There's guys on the water.
Over near Yankton, it's actually developing now.
Roars, go indoors, especially over water.
Bottom right of your screen, there are a couple of storms trying to develop now. Maybe something will happen here soon. I don't know. This is the area that we're going to be watching for. SMR weather stream. Absolutely. Vince stopped to make a left turn, had his signal on, Corey stopped to follow him, and then all of a sudden the camera went black and we lost audio. Maybe somebody rear-ended him or something. I don't really know. I'm not gonna speculate. I don't really know.
Although, guys,
I just hope they're okay.
Stream, though, until we hit 45K
was
today.
definitely
We hit 45,000 today.
definitely scary. Great fishing weather. Yeah, depending on where you are, it's actually not too shabby for the weather right now. Depending on where you are, it might be good fishing weather. Here's a live shot out of Kearney right now. Kearney, Nebraska. Oops. Not tornado warned. But again, we got the storms rolling in here in a moment. This is the leading edge of the storm activity. That might be the shelf cloud there. It's just kind of dead. This area of storms it's probably not going to survive that long. Mostly a wind threat there. This is the live shot also in Iowa. We've been looking at this. This was just tornado warned. This is the leading edge of the storm activity. Actually got some relatively low clouds here. Relatively low cloud base. A lot of scud cloud activity. But yeah, again, just nothing looks imminent there in terms of a tornado. Definitely ominous. This is from Heather out of Grants, New Mexico. This is from the flooding event that's been happening over there. So, yeah, definitely some flooding there in New Mexico. And this is, again, an area, New Mexico, Utah, areas like that see all this rain at one time that just are not used to seeing that much rain are going to have flooding today. So that is a lot of flowing water there in New Mexico. All right, let's go back up to... Stay here for now. Again, this is the area that we're going to be watching for potentially some sort of tornado risk to develop here soon. We're going to be watching this area closely as this moves northeast. Connor just saw that video, by the way, of him griddying on my stream. Oh, man. If you guys want to see the video of Connor griddying on my stream, go to my Twitter page at MaxVelocityWX. So dumb. We're rooting against storms. I mean, we're always rooting against storms happening, unless they're in, like, the middle of nowhere. We could get, like, a photogenic tornado. But, I mean, in this case, we're actually down to 6 severe thunderstorm warnings. Which is crazy. Really, the area of development that we're going to be watching for, probably for at least the next 20 minutes, will be this area. Depending on trends, we're going to watch this closely, but if nothing too crazy happens, this live stream might not be super long today. If something gets going, though, in here, this is the area that we'll be watching for that tornado risk. So, really, I think the next 20 to 45 minutes will tell us the story of what's going to happen tonight. Will we have some rotating supercells? Well, we're going to have to watch this area, right? Near Yankton and Springfield. If something develops here, it could go rogue and it could get big. But if nothing really develops in this area, and if we keep seeing like storm splits and stuff, I don't think anything's going to happen here. So these storms have fired off 2 hours later than forecasted, so it's quite the delay. But we're watching this area for that development. With that said, we actually still have some rotating storms in Iowa. We got one near Mason City, and we got the other one west of Angola. So a couple areas of rotation still there. Nothing too crazy, but this is the live shot of that storm back over in northwest Iowa that, again, was tornado warned. Still got that leading edge of storm activity here. Got some scuddy action at the bottom. Doesn't look like any rotation, but that's been the storm that we've been looking at for a while. Still got a view of that. Also got some Mason City live cams that I want to look at. Wait a second. Is that camera that we've been looking at the entire time not even the Mason City camera? I'm so confused. So on the traffic map, I'm just going to tell you guys this real quick. I've been clicking on the Whitemore camera. That's right here. Looking towards Emmitsburg. Apparently this entire time, I don't think this is actually the camera that's here. It's mile marker 186. I don't know where that is, to be honest, in Iowa. If we go back over here to Mason City, we have the same exact camera here. So I don't know what's going on, but that actually might be the Mason City storm that we've been talking about this entire time. This stream is chalked. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I couldn't even tell you. Kind of sus. Yeah, I don't know. This stream is chalked. It's over. What is that right there? It's 5 minutes ago. I don't know what that is. Kind of looks like a tornado, but not very clear at all. I don't think it is, for the record. I'm just kind of looked like it. Definitely raining out there, though. Definitely raining up here in northern Iowa. Iowa uses stock images for their traffic. They might. Who knows? They just might. Still got a tornado warning in Canada, by the way. Not much rotation, but it's near Davidson, Canada. What is going on with this storm? The reflectivity has been going crazy on this storm near Carter in Montana. Kind of looks like almost like a smiley face. Maybe a little smiley face right there. Just gotta put 2 eyes on there. Looks like a smiley face moving towards Carter. And Fort Benton. All right. It's all the cheese curds. I have not had Culver's, by the way, in over 3 weeks. I said this yesterday on our members only stream. I have not had it in a long time. that might be why the weather's been so quiet. Like, legitimately, everything's lining up right now. We haven't had Culver's in at least 3 weeks. And so there is a possibility. It is possible that we, maybe have broken the curse. Have I been going to rehab for Culver's? No, I actually haven't. Believe it or not. I will be right back in 1 second. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I just realized crazy stuff, but before I went live today, somebody knocked on my door. And I did not process it until just now. I ordered HelloFresh, and I just now got it. I completely forgot. As we're talking about Culver's, I was just thinking about the food that I just ordered, like, a few days ago. And I was like processing it. I'm like, I didn't expect anybody to be at my door today. They didn't stay there. I never saw anybody. Then I just realized that was what was standing there. It was the box of HelloFresh. So good times. Good times. I think the food is fine, but my brain just thought of that. Like, I was like, I'm expecting a delivery today. Today is Friday. Is it still fresh? I have no clue. I think it is. I mean, it hasn't been there, hopefully, for too long. Maybe it's been there for like 2 hours. HelloFresh should sponsor the channel. They might, you never know. Maybe in the future. Well, we do have storms developing right now in South Dakota, so there is potential right now that we could have something brewing in South Dakota. There is potential. Yeah, it is packaged to be in the box for a while, so it being out there for like 2 hours is probably not that big of a deal. Oh my goodness. Dude. James just made a transparent Griddy image from Goddard. Oh my goodness gracious. This is so funny. Oh man. Griddying is out of control. Yeah, you got a Connor Griddy emoji in the chat too. Imagine he adds that as an emoji to his stream. His membership count will be skyrocketing. Ever since we have the Griddy emoji in our chat, our memberships have gone up. Thank you, Mike, for the $9.99. Appreciate that. Thank you. Never stop griddying. I said that on Twitter. Never stop griddying. Who knows? I don't even know what never stop chasing means. The only thing that matters right now is never stop griddying. I'm just kidding. Never stop chasing, too. What's crazy is that I've had over 20 cameos requested, and none of them have been about, like griddying or anything like that. Which is actually kind of crazy. New people like me are lost on the Griddy. It's an experience. It's an experience. If we get 20 new members today, I'll do a Griddy. That's how it goes in every stream. Timer starts now. I don't know how long we'll be live. Depends on if these storms get going. There are some wild city names on the screen right now. I don't see any that look crazy to me. Why not? That's a funny one. Why not? Griddy t-shirt when? We might have one at some point. I'm not sure, though. I've been thinking about it. Wakanda. Yankton. Some interesting ones. Wakanda forever. Somewhere in this... You got Slab City over in Wisconsin. You know how crazy that name is? Back over northwest of Green Bay. Slab City. There are some absurd names in the country. There are like a lot. I think there's one near Richmond too. Tuckahoe. Short Pump. Like, I mean... there are some crazy names. Ding Dong, Texas. That's another one. We actually covered that a few months ago. Not much in Slab City. Well, with that name, I wouldn't be surprised by that. Kristen, yes, I do. My email is always full. Like, I get a lot of emails. I would recommend trying to contact me via Twitter or Facebook Messenger. The links are in the description. Discord too. But just like... try to let me know in some way, because I get a lot of messages and stuff. I can't get through all of them. Thank you, Rosemary, for the one gifted member. We now need 19 more members for us to do a Griddy today. The Griddy. Fantastic. Stormrunner Media is looking at something interesting in the middle of the screen there. Some Scud Cloud activity right there. Go back to them once they come back. Am I available for birthday parties? What? Oh yeah, there's Hell, Michigan. Yeah, that's a town name too. Thank you, Heather, for the 20 gifted memberships. Appreciate the generosity. I guess we're doing a Griddy today at some point. Well, we might even do it in a few minutes, depending on if the weather stays this quiet. It's wild. Appreciate the generosity. If you got a gifted membership, make sure to thank Heather in the chat. Appreciate the generosity. And by the way, if you are a member of the channel, you do get access to all of our members-only exclusive content. We had a Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader live stream last night. That was hilarious. So, do highly recommend, if you want to support the page above and beyond, become a member. It starts from $3 a month. It is the join button down below. That is good times. Also, today's live stream is brought to you by Radar Omega. If you need a weather app to stay ahead of the storms tonight, or even tomorrow, because we got a couple of days of severe weather ahead. We got, obviously, the one today that goes all the way from the Montana area. This is the outlook. Montana back into parts of Arizona and back even into the northeast today. And then tomorrow, the risk is going to shift a bit to the east across parts of the Midwest. And I do think we'll be live tomorrow for the Midwest. I do like going live for these sorts of events. So we'll probably be live tomorrow in the Midwest with a damaging wind, hail, and tornado risk. With that said, though, you can download Radar Omega to stay ahead of the storms on iOS and Android. It's only $8.99, and it comes with a ton of features like the live radar feed, velocities. You got a storm tracking tool that you can use. This is the storm tracking tool. Comes with the app, and you can put in the speed of the storm and give yourself an estimate on when storms will arrive. I just put in 560 miles per hour. It's obviously not going that fast, but you can get your timing guide and all that sort of stuff. and be able to estimate when a storm will be arriving to your location. Even has a little measurement tool in terms of mileage, so you can kind of track how many miles a storm is also away from you. In addition to that, it has split screen mode. It also can go into 4 different screens, so you can look at multiple things at the same time in the same area. Has satellite imagery, computer models for the higher subscriptions that you can get on the app as well, which I highly recommend you getting a subscription like the Alpha subscription. And also it has tropical storm data, weather alerts, tons of customizability, and a lot more. Live cameras and live storm chasers do come with the base version of the app, which is again $8.99. You can download Radar Omega with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android, and I do appreciate Radar Omega for sponsoring today's live stream. It'd be a great voiceover. Should voice over a movie. Be good times. Hey, Mark, for becoming a moderate velocity member, and welcome to the Velocities. Anything huge yet? No. The biggest thing that we've seen today was a Griddy emergency from Connor Croft earlier in the stream. Probably the biggest thing that we've seen today. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's legitimately the biggest thing that we've seen today. You know, so far with these storms that are developing in South Dakota, they look left-hand moving storms, which don't favor tornadoes that often, so I don't know. We'll see if these get going. But right now, nothing too crazy in this environment yet. Let's go back over to Storm Intermedia. They have a pretty good view of that storm near Yankton, South Dakota. A lot of scud-clad action beyond the trees there.
What was going on?
Thank you, Crafter. Appreciate that. Corey posted an update on his community page. I'll look. Look and see. Is he still alive? Yeah, he is still alive. Oh, yeah, his car definitely got hit pretty hard.
Hey, Tavo, good to see you.
Apparently he can't end the stream. I'm not sure why. I don't know if that's like... I don't know what that has to do with... I don't know why he can't end the stream. Maybe he can't get into his car.
You know,
I don't know.
I've had a couple today. I don't need any more.
But it sounds like everybody involved was fine. But they're obviously done chasing for the day, which... Honestly, they're not missing anything right now. Alright, I'll be back in 60 seconds. Gonna take a quick little break. Be right back in 60 seconds. Also, thank you, Rosemary, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities.
I don't know if this thing will turn into anything, but we shall see.
Alright. We're down to 4 severe thunderstorm warnings. We were
I
at
figured
29
did it
warnings
that time. I did it that time,
about
you guys.
2 hours ago.
I had to do something really quick.
And we're now down
Because I
to
couldn't.
a whopping 4. It's crazy.
Well, right now we're waiting to see what this thing will do. Slowly been checking it out a little bit. Otherwise, I'll probably just start heading down south.
By the way, I do want to throw this out there. We did talk about it in our last live stream, but I do want to let you guys know that we are now sponsored by Midland Radios. So if you need a weather radio, you can pick one up. I actually have 2 of them. We got the Midland Crank Radio, which is one of their cheaper options. We also got my personal favorite, the Midland Weather Alert Radio. Cannot speak. This one's also really good pickup. If you want to pick one of these up, there is a link in the description. It'll also be posted in the chat, and you can get 10% off a Midland Radio with my link. That is going to be in the chat and also down in the description. So I know a lot of you guys are always wondering, what weather radio should I get? Midland, honestly, in my opinion, is the best one. So they have consistently been the best one for, years now. They're just, have the best designs, lots of cool features as well. So, but there's tons of options on their website. These are just 2 of my favorite ones that I have that are very cost efficient and will get the job done for whenever you're under a warning. You'll be able to know, especially when you're sleeping. They can definitely be a big help there as well. There is still some rotation, by the way, south of Long Pine in Nebraska. Just doesn't look like anything's imminent there. But yeah, across the board right now, again, things are still relatively quiet. Not too shabby. Oh, look at that. Oh, somebody's actually using that. I thought it was a wood plank, and it actually isn't. I don't know what that thing is. Looks like a little light, raft thing on the lake here. Yeah, this is the Radar Omega Cyclone port in Iowa, in northwest Iowa. Actually, the wind is pretty strong here, too. Got the flags really whipping right now. Definitely really windy. Got some towering cumulus back in the background, too. That's my boat? Yeah, this is... Exactly. That right there, that's my boat. You guys got me. I'm right now live on the boat. I'm inside the boat. We need a boat for storm chasing. We need a boat fund. Go water spout chasing. You know how dangerous that would be? You'd really need an actual enclosed boat. It would also have to be no waves. Which those 2 things just don't really exist. Still got a little bit of spin offshore. Again, this is Invest 92L. Currently, the center of this is 24 miles away from Florida and Georgia. It is unlikely that it will actually become a tropical storm or depression. The next National Hurricane Center update on this will be in about 20 minutes, I believe. So we'll see if they end up saying, hey, this is going to be a tropical storm, or hey, this is definitely not a tropical storm. So we'll have to wait and see. They have it at a 40% chance at the latest outlook, which was as of 10 minutes ago. So odds of this developing into something are dropping. By the way, this is a photo from the tornado warning cell from Zach Trunkhill in Iowa from earlier. Look at that. Absolute beast of a storm. Over here in Iowa from earlier. This is the other one, too. Sheesh. Incredible structure right there. That's back over in that's in Whitemore, Iowa, by the way. So this was from the tornado warning cell. It wasn't when it was tornado warned, but it was, just after that. Still a pretty impressive storm there. No problem, Trunk. Trunk's actually a member of the channel. Look at that. kind of camera are you using? Was that just like an iPhone? Or is that like an actual camera? It's a crazy view. You have a plane for hurricane hunting? Absolutely. Yeah, our next investment will be a plane. Just so we can personally go hurricane hunting. Sounds great. How is the invest in Florida not a tropical storm? They said it's because there's not enough convection near the center of it. I don't know. I still feel like it's at least a depression. But I don't know. No, it's not. Look at those wind speeds. Well, the wind might be the other problem too. I mean, initially the problem was it did not have enough convection. It could be the wind. I don't know what the winds are right now. I mean, velocities like by radar showing like 10 miles per hour. Let me check out tropical tidbits and look. It could be wind related now. Before it was just simply because there was like, you know, no convection. Let me look. Invest 92, maximum sustained winds are 30 knots. Well, that's enough for a tropical depression. So, yeah, I don't know. I still think it's more related to the wind and whatnot, though. Or not wind, sorry, convection. Because I mean, if you look at the infrared imagery, just look at this. There's like nothing here. Like this is the center. The little spinny guy right here in the middle. That's the center. This is the only convection that's developed. Otherwise, it's just a couple of little showers around the center. So, feed it some cheese curds and maybe it'll do something. This is the infrared imagery on Radar Omega as well. Let me turn on infrared real quick. This is another view of it as well, just for reference. The spin's in here, but this is, again, the only convection. And these are showing really cold cloud tops. Those are pretty big thunderstorms near Palm Coast and Daytona Beach. So there's quite a bit of storm activity there. But aside from that, we got another spinny guy over here in the Gulf, which this will probably be our next tropical storm if that one doesn't develop. This one will probably be the next one. Won't be really much of an impact to the United States, but something to watch for. Something to keep a close eye on. By the way, I just want to throw it out there. Bottom of your screen, usually it'll show what alerts are out there and stuff. We are working on a new alert system that'll show you what the warnings are and what kind and where they are and whatnot at the bottom of your screen. It just says live severe weather coverage right now. What was happening with our stream for the last few months was that system that we had at the bottom of our screen was glitching out the stream. Every like 20 seconds or so, our stream would freeze for a very small amount of time. Very small, like very tiny little amount of time, like not even half a second. And it annoyed the crap out of me. It was happening in videos too. Finally found the reason why that was happening, and it was because of what we had at the bottom of the screen. So once our new alert system is in, we won't have that issue, but we are just awaiting basically that new alert system. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, that was why. Yeah, bats don't happen for a little while. It's a little ways away from that. Little ways away. Culver's is too expensive. Used to be $30 to eat out as a family. Now for $4, and now it's $65. Depends on what you get, honestly. Because, I mean, honestly, for me, a kid's meal is plenty. I could easily do a kid's meal there. Some people, like, even me, I'm guilty of this. Like, some people go to restaurants and order too much food. Like, it's something that I do frequently. My value basket's like $8. Yeah, if you get like a single burger or something like that, like a single and not a double, it's way cheaper. The protein is what makes it so expensive. And the drink, obviously. And if you just get water at a restaurant and not an actual drink, you're saving $3 to $4 anytime you go to a restaurant, basically. The value baskets make you enticed to essentially buy the value basket because it's only like $1 more for a drink. But I mean, that's $1. When you think about it, $1 added up over time is quite a bit. Now, personally, if I didn't go to restaurants and didn't get a drink every time I went, which I honestly probably eat out almost every day right now because the weather's just been so crazy. That's why I got HelloFresh. Hopefully the weather stays quieter after tomorrow and I can kind of cook more. But like, you know, every day I go to a restaurant, I'm getting a drink. You know, that's like $2 or $3 a day. If you add that up over the span of a year, which obviously this is like 3 months worth, but that's at least like $90 on its own right there. Like, I could have saved not getting a drink at a restaurant. Like, or yeah, you can also get a drink from home, which will save you even more money. You know, that sort of thing. How much do you think you've spent on Culver's over your lifetime? I don't know. I couldn't really tell you. I don't think it's that high. I mean, I've probably been about 40 times now. But a lot of the times I go, I get like a free scoop of ice cream from filling up that like thingy-mabobber. So like, you know, it's not actually that high. I go once a week. I have not been in a while. Ryan, if you have any photos, you can message me on Facebook or you can go to our Discord server. Those are linked in the description. HelloFresh, can we have a review? I mean, I've not had it yet, so I don't know. I don't really have a review for you right now. I haven't had it at all. I literally just got my first box. It wasn't that expensive for the first box, so I was like, might as well try it. Thank you, Ian, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. A well-reasoned for becoming a 23-month member. Wow. Almost a year, or almost 2 years, excuse me. That's crazy. Will I do a cooking stream? Maybe? I don't know. I was thinking about it. If we do a cooking stream, what am I going to cook? A grilled cheese
I
sandwich?
just gotta look at the small things.
If I do a cooking stream again, it would be members only.
This is the
All of our
thing of the
non-weather related stuff right now is members only. I am considering, though, making our second channel after this month. I am considering changing that channel so that it's not just purely related to North Texas weather, because we don't really do much on that channel aside from like, I don't know, we might make that channel into something where we do have actual like off-topic stuff on. I'm not sure though yet. I was thinking about it.
But we gotta hit 45 today, guys. I know I've been saying it a lot, but we're only 9 subscribers.
And our second channel right now is North Texas Weather Center.
From the big 4-5.
We might rename it to like Minimum Velocity or something, and maybe make that a channel where we have like members, like we have our like members only content there instead. That's public, but not all of it, because I still want to keep a lot of stuff members only. Since a lot of you guys are members now, we have a lot of members. I'd like to be able to provide something of value for those that do support the page. Above and beyond, as we are doing, again, a lot of studio upgrades. I mean, the majority of membership money is anyways going towards upgrades, so. Lots of upgrades still to come. We're doing another computer build in like a few days too, but I don't know if that'll be a stream yet or not. Started watching on North Texas Weather? I know, Clay. I know, you're an OG. You're like an actual OG. Which is insane. Which North Texas Weather Center on Facebook, by the way, is not going anywhere. But, you know, the YouTube page might change to something else, because I don't really use it to begin with. For North Texas Weather, we very minimally use it. Max Velocity underwear merch when? I might do a drop for that or something. We'll see. That'd be so dumb, though. Upgrades galore. We got a lot of upgrades coming. Lots and lots of upgrades. I was so confused when you were live on that channel one day. That was pretty funny. We're up to like 3,000 viewers on that second channel one day, which is absurd. Max Velocity After Dark. It's not a bad name either. I was thinking Minimum Velocity. I like the vibe more. I was like, surely this is a fake stream.
5 memberships. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought the same thing, honestly. Would have thought the same exact thing.
Benita, thank you for gifting another membership.
By the way, we are watching the storm in Southeast South Dakota. There is a little bit of rotation. That's what we're looking at on Stormrunner Media's feed, I believe. Yeah. There's a little bit of rotation on this thing. Watching it closely, just in case.
By the way, anybody who has donated directly, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App today, I'm sorry, I can't see those. Those are only those
You guys
are all
gotta
to
look at
DL's
this.
phone.
On my Facebook page, I just changed the profile picture. My North Texas Weather Center page. Oh man, I can't wait for the reaction on that one. That's gonna be so funny. That is gonna be hysterical. Oh man, people are gonna be like, did you get hacked? Did something happen to you? All the max merch when? Might have to do it at some point. Who knows? Minimum velocity.
Hey, what are you looking at there? Also consider going back up north where you started as well. That's, you know, there are some storms up there as well, if you want a shorter drive. Hey, what are you looking at there?
I don't know. I just saw the storm build up towards well, I forget what town I was just in, but it's near Utica, and I just wanted to come look at it, and it's looking okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's got some pretty unique structure to it.
You look experienced in that picture? I look like a true meteorologist in that picture right there. How do I lessen the pixels on the Radar Omega app? Wyoming, you have to show me what you're talking about. Send me like a photo on Discord or something. And at me in it. So I can look. See what you're talking about. I'm just curious, is there anything happening over here? You know, one of the coolest Radar Omega Cyclone ports that they have is this one in Bank of America Stadium. Like, there could be a football game happening down here, and you could actually see probably at least part of it. Really beautiful in North Carolina tonight. Alright, we got nothing happening in Kearney. Just checking. You know, this storm near Utica does not look too shabby. I mean, that's what we're looking at with Stormrunner Media right now. It does look a bit more organized. It might do something. We'll see. Thank you, Kim, for the $4.99. I do not make that information public. Even though some people do know, I'm not going to make it public until I'm done college.
Lightning's becoming more increased on it.
It's like a year away anyways. It's hot in North Carolina. It's hot everywhere, basically. East Coast, Southern Plains. It's hot everywhere.
Right. What was the question? I'm sorry.
The problem is though, like with how popular, or I don't ever say the word popular about myself, but what, like with how many subscribers I have basically now, it's one of those things. I'm not trying to put that sort of information out there because there's just so many
Kathy,
people
I'm
now.
just looking at a storm near Utica.
Doesn't really
South
matter
Dakota
either,
here.
honestly. I know some people are wondering about like what colleges
It'll look
should I go
terrible.
to for meteorology. I mean, I honestly
So.
would recommend OU. With that said, it's just, you know, there's a lot of them out there. I just recommend touring as many as you can because everybody has a different feel for it. I mean, I toured at least 5 colleges. I think at least toured 5 colleges. There's a lot of different ones, and everybody's gonna have a different feel for different colleges. My opinion is only so important
Bad.
for picking a college.
Maybe a little supercell, but it's not warned or anything at the moment.
What do you plan to do after college? I mean, right now this, but
for sure.
you know, if this falls down the tube or something, which it could, you never know. It's YouTube.
I'll bet DL
I mean, going to TV, I'm fine with too. I don't really care what I do, as long as I'm kind of just, you know, out there doing weather.
Amazing. If you weren't in the stream yesterday evening.
College graduation party at Culver's when? That'd be wild if we did that. Can't wait for tomorrow's stream. Yeah, I'm not guaranteeing a live stream yet tomorrow, but I do think we will be live. Just based off of what we've already seen long term, I do think there is a pretty solid chance that we'll be live. And it's supposed to be mostly just a wind threat. I mean, there's not going to be anything out of the ordinary, I don't think. Maybe an isolated tornado or two. But I like covering the Midwest, so I think we will be live to some extent.
But today was, I guess, more of a relaxing sort of chase. It was supposed to, there was definitely a chance for a couple of tornadoes, but the evolution of that warm front didn't quite materialize the way that it was supposed to. So we got left with more of a messy...
Forever. I talked about that yesterday in yesterday's forecast. Briefly, though, it's probably going to be there until at least through the weekend. Next week doesn't look as bad. I would recommend just watching the forecast from yesterday, because I talked about it at some point. I think it's near the end of the forecast.
Let me know, guys. Let me know if I need to move the camera at all. It looks pretty good from here. Maybe I can probably move it up though. Probably move it up a little bit.
Where are we? We're right now in South Dakota. This is near Yankton. The location's bottom left. We're just gonna see if anything happens with this. I mean, again, if nothing really gets going here, we're not gonna stay live for this entire thing, but we're seeing if anything happens. If it stays quiet, then there's not really much of a reason to be live. Unless things do get going. Oh yeah, I have to Griddy. I forgot about that.
It's not the best looking thing in the world.
Before I forget about that, let me Griddy. I almost forgot. Because there's nothing happening right now anyways. That's at least significant.
But that doesn't look too terrible to me. That kind of lower spot down there. Behind the power line there.
I think that's better than Connor's Griddy, I'm gonna be honest with you. We had a Griddy emergency in this live stream. Yeah, I think that was better than Connor's. 8 out of 10. Connors was a 4 out of 10 in my opinion. Whenever he comes to Florida, I'm going to show him how to improve his posture.
The radar
his form.
thinks that this storm has a tornado vortex signature on it. I don't think so. We're in a good spot to see anything that this thing tries to throw. But it does look like it's trying to strengthen because there's lightning core.
Best Friday I've ever seen.
The middle.
This has been this has been a very chill 2.5 hour live stream. Gotta be honest with you. An extraordinarily chill. There's really been nothing happening. It's been extraordinarily quiet. The loudest thing that we've had so far today, in my opinion, was Connor Croft's Griddy. Like, legitimately. Probably the loudest thing that happened in this live stream. Well, Invest 92L, folks. It's about to be making landfall here in Georgia and Florida. Little spinny boy just off the coast of Kingsland. Not too shabby. Don't think it's going to be anything actually tropical. Should make a landfall in the next hour or two, though. Nothing ever happened in Michigan today, either. Overall, the computer models were not really, you know, tracking what was supposed to happen today. This is a Radar Omega Cyclone port back over here, actually, in Michigan. Look at that towering cumulus right there. It's near Detroit. Little storm blowing up here. Whoa, all the birds. And again, you can watch Radar Omega Cyclone ports just like this one in their app with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. But yeah, Michigan really didn't perform either today. I'm not saying today's over, by the way, because there will still be storms. There will still be a potential for severe weather. But a lot of the storm activity thus far has really underperformed by quite a bit. Which, again, today was only a slight risk. It wasn't like an enhanced or anything like that, but still. These storms have not performed as well. A lot of them did not develop until now, so it's a really late development area. Thank you, Heather, for the $10 super chat. Will it hit Richmond Hill, Georgia, just northwest of Savannah? I mean, it will probably hit that area, but gusty winds is about it. There's not going to be anything concerning in Georgia. High waves along the coast would be really probably the biggest concern with that system, honestly. Like, there won't even be flooding rains. I mean, it's such a low precip environment. Really not much is going to happen there. I do appreciate the $10 super chat. What's worse than the chat for Heather, by the way? That's 20 gifted members and I think $50 worth of super chats. It's crazy. I do appreciate the generosity. All right. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, and then if nothing happens, I think we're gonna call it.
I'm glad you guys like the view, though. That's for sure.
Very lackluster stream.
I stayed around here so I can, for your guys' sake, or else I would have probably already ended my stream. It's because the way that today is gone.
Went from 93 to 75 in Pittsburgh in 20 minutes. That would be the rain cool air over there in Pittsburgh. Assuming it rained, which I'm guessing it did. Thank you, Vincent, for the $5 super chat. The flooding in southern Minnesota is some of the most significant flooding the area has seen in a few years. Yeah, that's what I mentioned this the other day too.
Right,
Minnesota.
Guys, we hit 45,000. Woo! Give yourselves a round of applause. We got 45,000 subscribers now.
Huh? 25,000 subscribers on what?
Next
They're like
stop is
45K.
50.
Oh, 45,000. Oh, I thought he said 25,000. I was like, what? All right. What I was saying, though, is that I mentioned this in the other stream the other day. I mean, a lot of what Minnesota had from the prolific rain event here you know, it was definitely like a once in a 10-year sort of event that was forecasted. It didn't end up being a once in a 10-year event, but it did, you know, it was really significant. And you really can blame this ridge. I mean, we have a ridge that's just sitting down here to the south, and we have this effect here with all this moisture kind of circling around that from Arizona back into, you know, the Midwest now. And so that's really been able to kind of gear these training storms, and we're going to continue to see that for the next 24 hours in these areas, or at least the next 12 hours. So but yeah, I mean, it's one of the biggest things with this event, and we're probably going to see more flooding tonight. And there's a moderate risk for flash flooding. Flooding will start to ramp up more in southeastern South Dakota here soon, and then it will eventually go into Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. So, yeah. I feel like tomorrow will make up for the quietness today. Yeah, I'll look at the 00Z HRRR model run whenever it comes out. It won't be out in time for this live stream. It's only currently getting through the 23Z run, so we're still probably about an hour until that run comes out. But tomorrow overall, I mean, it doesn't look like a big day, to be honest with you. It looks mostly like wind. Tornado parameter values, for the most part, they're on the low side of things. They kind of get going in the afternoon, so maybe a corridor for tornadoes here in eastern Iowa. I don't really know. I feel like this is going to be mostly a linear threat tomorrow. This is the future radar. So again, storms get going in the early afternoon across Iowa. Gets relatively significant, but again, mostly linear. And as long as it stays linear, it should be mostly wind. But we could get a tornado or two. And then eventually it's all wind through Chicago and whatnot. Tornado parameter values are actually surprisingly high for tomorrow, given the environment. Let's go to the hotographs. Let's check those out. Or at least given the storm mode, I should say. Thank you, Caden, for the super chat. Thank you, Vincent, for the $5 super chat. 2008 or 9 was the last time I saw something like that. Yeah, I mean, it was, again, quote-unquote, supposed to be like a once-in-a-decade type of event. These photographs don't even look that great, honestly. Like, there's some spin there, but it's not much. I don't like tomorrow's environment for tornadoes. I don't think it's gonna be that high by any means. I think the 2% or maybe a small 5% will be about it for tomorrow, especially given the storm mode that's currently in the forecast. Let's go to the NAM 3K real quick. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I mean, again, as long as this stays linear, I don't think there's going to be big problems tomorrow, aside from wind damage, which flying trampolines very well a possibility tomorrow. But again, aside from that, does not appear super duper concerning, in my opinion. That means it'll overperform? Absolutely. After everything I just said, you know, it's gonna be a big event. We already jinxed it. All right. Wakanda's a real place. It is. Actually, it's a real place in South Dakota. Believe it or not, it is.
Fine. It really is. It's... Whoa, what are you back there? I see you back there. I had you guys pointing in the wrong direction. Maybe I'll go north.
It's gonna be tornadoes everywhere tomorrow now. It's my fault.
I'll go east.
Yeah, it might be. We'll see.
Right
It might be. I honestly don't think, though, tomorrow's gonna be that bad. Thank you, Vincent, for the $5 super chat. I really didn't think I was gonna stream today. I mean, today, I kind of thought we'd stream today. Yesterday, I didn't think we'd stream at all, and we ended up streaming, so. It is what it is. I don't mind streaming by any means. I mean, even if we had kind of a boring day today, at least we got on. Thank you, Mike, for the $9.99. Appreciate that. But, yeah, it's just kind of one of those days, you know? It happens. I'm gonna wait for the next radar scan on this storm and see if it does anything. If not, we're probably done. But Storm Media does have a pretty solid view of this storm right now. But this storm's definitely blowing up. It's just the problem with it right now is it's not really organized yet. It has begun to move more to the right. It's a right-moving storm, so maybe this does something. I don't know. It does have a little bit of rotation. Definitely possible that we get something with this. We'll see.
The cell is not at 60,000, but it is growing. We are at 51,000 feet now, so it's a growing cell.
Yeah, this storm is definitely blowing up. It's a pretty big storm here. Thank you, William, for the $4.99. Appreciate that.
I'm gonna go out to
generosity.
that, guys. Why not, right? I'm here. Might as well.
I agree with them. Might as well. Let's go. I'm just waiting for the next velocity scan to see if anything's here. Hey, Vincent, for another $5 super chat. They would be perfect for a minimum velocity kind of day. It would be. Yeah, with this sort of setup, it would be. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of rotation on this. The upper levels have rotation. It has a hook. It's trying. There's effort being made with this particular storm. Will it be enough? Who knows? I low-key want to go get Culvers. No cap. I want Culvers. That might be a bad thing, though. Thoughts on the storm near Charles City, Iowa? I don't think anything in Iowa right now is that concerning. And we're going to continue to see these storms blow up. But they're mostly just going to be small hail, gusty winds. Maybe a brief tornado. DoorDash? I'm not doing DoorDash. DoorDash is literally so expensive. Ridiculous. There's even the AI chat summary knows your Griddy is superior. What in the world is this? A group... What? Chat summary. Auto-generated experiment. Quality may vary. A group of viewers are reacting in real time to a dance competition between a streamer named Max and a viewer named Connor. While Connor's Griddy is praised for his effort, Max's is considered better. What? Viewers also discuss the weather and express sympathy for the victims of the recent tragedy involving a rip current in Florida. What? There was no rip current tragedy in Florida. Excuse me? Oh my goodness. What in the world did I just read? Wow, that's something. Thank you, Gray for the $4.99. I already griddied earlier. But Collin County's probably not gonna see anything anytime soon. It should be pretty dry there for a while. Maybe the end of the week, there could be some storms. The risk is pretty low. Oh, wow, look at that.
Hold on,
Look at that right
you guys
there.
on the wrong cam. Of course I do.
That's a lowering. We got action in South Dakota. It's a not even a warned storm right now. But we do have action. Maybe, just maybe, we get something. Well, that's a big lowering right there. It's a right-hand moving storm, too. So this could do something. We could get a tornado with this. We'll see. The reason why I have not ended the stream yet is because I kind of did think the storm might get going, and it definitely is. There's a lowering right beyond that hill there. You'll see it again in a second if you're just tuning in. But there is a lowering near Utica, South Dakota. We're losing a little bit of visual, but you can see it there. There's definitely a lowering. So we're going to stay live as long as this does look like this, because there is definitely a lowering.
Oh, that thing extremely low. But I gotta change camera angles so you guys can actually see this thing. That's a low wall cloud. Really low wall cloud. Ah, that's way too much noise, though.
I wonder if Connor's going to go live. I don't know if Connor's with, or in this area. I don't know if he's actually going to go live at all, but... Waiting to get around the storm, but again, if you're just tuning in, there's a wall cloud on this.
Utica is... It's looking interesting.
Currently near Utica. The radar site that's really far away does show that rotation. The one that's close up doesn't really show anything. I think we're going to have a view of it here in a second, so just hold on. Hold your horses. Should have a view here in a second of this. It's the first time I've been in this chat for over 2 years. Wow. It's actually kind of crazy.
Wish I can stop. Just get that
only Garrett is
camera
chasing, by the way. DL Scales is
right
with him.
angle for
He's
you.
on vacation. So I don't think
can't
Garrett
stop here.
knows he's on the wrong camera right now, but it's fine. Just letting you guys know. He doesn't usually change the cameras.
I think I can bring this one all the way across.
And for reference, this is a storm that we're looking at right now that does actually have a wall cloud, and it looks actually pretty organized. This is it right here. It's actually relatively low to the ground right now. He's getting closer, so we'll see if it does anything. But it's definitely trying. Yeah, the storm might produce. We'll see. It's a right-hand moving storm, so definitely a possibility that we get a tornado with this. Near Utica, South Dakota. By the way, thank you, Heather, for the $40 Venmo. DoorDash, Culver's, and let's get the storms going. I'm still probably not going to DoorDash, but I appreciate the generosity, and thank you for your $40 Venmo. Put some hearts in the chat for Heather. We appreciate your generosity. By the way, apparently there was people that died from rip currents
Guys, it wants to.
in Florida. I did not realize that, but obviously condolences to them. I thought the AI generated text was just talking about something that I was talking about, so my apologies. I did not know that was an actual thing.
Too bad you guys can't see the hook on this thing that this thing has near north of Yankton. I am north of Yankton, South Dakota here. There's little fingers coming out. There's little fingers. Trying to.
Don't question the AI bot. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, this is a wall cloud lowering near Utica. Nothing looks imminent, but it is definitely organizing. Very far left side of your screen is where that wall cloud would be.
There's a little road up here I could stop and have you guys turn the camera the other way. Where are you? Right here?
Do have another
Yeah,
radar scan
here
coming
you
in,
go.
so we'll go to that in a
Here's
second.
road. I hope. It's more so a little driveway.
Does my
which
sign on the
I
wall have a
am
beard?
not
That's just a tornado that somebody
going
crocheted for me.
on There.
It's like a fan mail item.
Changing my angle on the camera. That's all I'm doing.
There's a view of that right there. That is an ugly looking storm. There is no warning, as I mentioned before, and obviously it says severe thunderstorm warning at the top. I don't have a thing that says just like a normal storm, but just letting you know, like, this storm does have at least a lowering. From what we saw, it did not look imminent, but it's obviously very ominous back in this storm here. Storm's towering over 50,000 feet, so we could get something out of this, tornadic-wise. So we'll have to wait and see. We're gonna have a better view of it here in a second. Yeah, look at that right there. As I mentioned before, it does not look like it's about to happen, but there's definitely some lowering there in the middle with this supercell that's developing. You jinxed it by talking about how tame it's been tonight. I mean, it's still been relatively tame even with this storm. We really have not had much. Like, this is the first storm that actually has, I feel like, some level of potential.
Definitely gonna hook on this thing now.
Back to him in a second. This thing has potential.
There is like a little like funnel looking thing in the middle there.
By the way, this is heading towards Mayfield and Irene, South Dakota, near Spring Valley as well.
Right. My entrance to the interstate, or to the highways coming up.
By the way, left side of your screen, that's Scud. That's not a tornado.
Alright, here's my
Or anything
turn
like that.
north.
But there's a large
Echo
storm base in the middle, large
are
lowering.
Over 50,000.
It's a very tall thunderstorm. Radar
Yeah,
doesn't show a whole lot of
they are
rotation right now, but
50
to be honest with you, it might not be far from
climbing.
producing something in this environment, as long as it can stay discreet. Left side of your screen does look like a crazy funnel cloud, though. No, I don't think it is. I think it's just Scud over there. It doesn't look like it's rotating. Wow, look at that thing on the left. Jeez. That literally,
Come on,
to an
baby,
untrained
what are
eye,
you
that...
doing right there. Come on. You're so close. Come on, what are you? What are you doing?
That left side, it looks
I
like a
see
funnel
you.
cloud.
What are you doing?
It's just Scud, but still.
Ah, you're falling apart. No.
Scud madness
Alright, so
here.
you can't. Oh, you can't even go. Dang.
He has hit a dead end.
Okay, how?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, okay. I can still go on this. I just have to go on the other part. I believe, just like everyone else. Come on, car. Come on, car.
That's Scud area. It's too hard to tell if that's actually rotating. I don't think it is. I think it's just Scud. And it already fell apart. It looked like Scud. Usually a tornado is going to form where that base is. If we do get
It is
one.
single lane, yes.
Which would be further to the right. Oh, never mind. That road is open. I don't think he knows the camera's the other way. But again, this is the storm that we're looking at right now on radar. Got a little hook to it. Got an inflow. Again, there are storms around it, so I think the window of this producing a tornado is going to be short-lived. But if it can produce, it definitely could be a tornado that develops here. But got definitely a hook on this. Got an inflow. This is a better kind of pen. This is the radar mega pen, which is actually much smoother. But got some convection around it. Got a lot of scud on this baby. So it's definitely a possibility that we could get something out of this at some point.
There you guys go. You guys got a view now. Alright.
Yeah, just beyond these trees. Much better view there. Look at that. Jeez, that's a lot of rising motion. Still got a lowering right there in the dead center. Again, this is near Utica, going towards Mayfield in South Dakota. That cloud base is very low to the ground. It wouldn't take much. I mean, it just needs some sort of shear near the surface for this to actually get going. It's not far from doing something.
This base is low.
That is sketchy. Escalated quickly. It has escalated a little bit here. Even though it's, again, not even a warned storm right now. There's a lot of organization to this. It looks scarier when it's behind the trees like this. I do have to say that. Once we get past these trees, there'll be a better view of it. There you go. If it does produce a tornado, I think it's going to happen probably in the next 15 minutes. I don't think it would be any later than that.
I can do at the moment until I stop and I can get you guys a view of the roof.
Because otherwise we're going to get storm mergers happening with this thing.
The roof camp's facing the other direction. Okay, looks like there's a road I can turn on up here. It's not this one.
I mean, again, radar rotation does not show much. Go back to radar real quick. I mean, again, like further away radar sight shows some broad circulation. The very close-up radar sight, which is closer to the ground, does not really show much of anything. Like, this would be where we're watching for that threat. Again, velocities don't always have to show something for something to happen. Just letting you know, radar-wise, it does not look that organized in terms of rotation, but the storm structure definitely is. We just need some sort of shear to kind of kick in for there to be a, tornado with this.
Alright, looks like there's a road coming up here pretty quick.
The next XPC outlook, by the way, is out in half an hour. We actually might still be live for that, depending on how this storm goes.
Man, that base is just really low. Yep, here's my turn, right up here. Although, depending on how muddy it is, I may opt not to go on it. Oh, wait. It's a paved road? We're paved! Alright.
Here's a view of the storm now, a bit closer up.
We are paved.
Thank you, Scott, for the $9.99 super chat. Appreciate the generosity. Thank you. How's it going, Vex? Welcome back. I'll have another radar scan probably in a second. Hasn't updated in 6 minutes.
Kind of get out of this precip. And we can kind of see what we're dealing with more and more. This storm is north of Yankton, okay? The storm is south of Mayfield, north of Yankton, and South Dakota.
What do you think about Wisconsin for later? Probably not much, honestly. Just rain, lightning, isolated wind threat. Maybe a brief tornado, but risk is pretty low for that anyways. I think the main concern, honestly, for today has already happened for Wisconsin. Cell behind him might choke it. Yeah, that's currently the thinking, at least what I was saying before. I do think there's a pretty good chance that, you know, this might not actually produce, depending on the storm merger. We go back to radar real quick. This is what we're looking at on radar. We got this cell back here. If it merges, the tornado risk could spike, or if there's a lot more storm mergers after this one, it might just die entirely. Saw that yesterday in Nebraska. There is rotation. There's at least some broad circulation here near Route 81. It's nothing, I don't think, really imminent, as I mentioned before, but there is something definitely to watch for here. We have had a lowering with this for several minutes. So there's a possibility that something happens here.
You guys in here with us tonight.
And Storm Intermedia is right on the storm.
Continue to smash that like and subscribe button. It really helps
us. We'll see if something happens.
We're on a journey to 50K. You guys.
I think tomorrow will be the same. No, tomorrow will not be the same as today.
Every single one of you that are in here.
Tomorrow will be more of a line of storms comparatively to the nature of these storms that are just kind of popping up all over the place.
Supercell that is sort of going under the radar today.
Get a haircut? I just got a haircut. Excuse me?
North of Yankton, South Dakota.
Literally just got a haircut.
Took
like
a long
2 weeks
time
ago.
To develop, but
we have a flash flood emergency in New Mexico. We have a flash flood emergency for Grants, New Mexico. This is an area that I got sent a photo out of earlier, I believe. So there is now a flash flood emergency for Grants and Milan, south of Prewitt in New Mexico, right along Interstate 40. This is from Grants, New Mexico. This is a photo from earlier. This was earlier. Again, just a lot of running water here. But definitely not what you want to see. That's from Heather. It's a catastrophic situation. This is observed, by the way. This is an observed flash flood emergency. They don't get that much rain, so the amount of rain that they've seen is definitely going to be detrimental to that area.
how's this looking, guys? Is out of focus? What? I'm gonna try to put you guys back on the roof cam here. We definitely have scud for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. It doesn't really take that much in New Mexico. I mean, only 1 to 3 inches of rain has fallen, which in, like, you know, Kentucky, for example, 1 to 3 inches of rain, it would not be that big of a deal. I gotta be fixing the camera, by the way.
Still gonna go out, try to figure out my roof cam.
Oh, look at that right there in the middle. It's really getting a lot of rising action there. You can't see it because of the rain. It's out of focus. Once the camera's fixed, that right there in the middle is definitely getting going. A lot of rising scud. Not that. Once he turns the camera, you'll see it. The flash flood emergency is for the Cibola County, New Mexico, which is in, that's near Grants, near Interstate 40.
Alright, let's see what's going on there, okay?
Or maybe it was that. I don't know. I thought it was a bit further right with all the rising scud.
Show you guys really quickly what we're looking at. We are kind of right. You guys can see we're right in this.
This is the storm that we're talking about. And actually on the latest scan, it's actually kind of closing a little bit. So we do have a hook on this. And we're watching this to see how it interacts with this actual storm near Mayfield. But we'll see what the velocities show. But again, we do have a hook. We have an inflow. We got a supercell. We got very tall cloud tops, upwards of 50,000 feet up into the atmosphere. Definitely a hail core here as well. There's some level of hail falling. Probably not a lot, but some level of hail. Waiting for the velocities to update on here as well. This is the latest velocity scan. So there is rotation. It's very weak rotation, but there is rotation. We are starting to at least see some spin as well on radar. We weren't really seeing that up until now. And again, this is near Mayfield and Irene in South Dakota. If you're in any of those two locations, just stay vigilant. Viborg and Centerville to be next in track of this.
Okay, the precip's catching up, so I'm going to drive a little bit further north. You guys should still
Definitely
be okay
see
on the cam, I
It's
believe.
definitely a lot of scud there.
I mean, do I need to move that cam at all a little bit? Maybe a little bit more this way?
Looks like it's spinning just a little bit there in the middle. You guys see that? Like right there in the middle? Looks like it has a little bit of spin there. There's something happening. It's very, very broad and weak spin. But there is definitely some spin there. Just a little bit of weak spin. Look at that rising motion, too, just right of that center point that I was talking about with the rotation. It's kind of feeding into the storm right now. I don't know what
Sorry,
that lady
guys.
just said.
Somebody just came and asked us what was going on, so...
Oh.
There's others here watching this, too.
A lot of rising
I'll
motion
put you
right
guys
now.
back over
This
to
could...
3, just 'cause that's probably
This
gonna be
legitimately
more-
could produce a tornado. Look at all that rising motion very far left side of your screen right there. Look at that. See it clearly right there on the left. Ton of rising motion right there. Lots of scud feeding into this.
You guys see that motion in here?
Look at that right there. That's really getting going now. Not really
Especially right
spinning
here.
much, but... Oh, there you go. Look at that. That is organizing very quickly now. By the way, if the audio's too loud or quiet, let me know. That is really getting going right now. A lot of rising motion. We're definitely seeing spin right there. This could drop a tornado at some point. Again, just to the north of Mission Hill near Mayfield and Irene in South Dakota. That is becoming very concerning very quickly.
Dang. Come on, is this thing gonna do something right there or not?
This might be dropping in the next couple minutes. I mean, that thing's really organizing quickly.
He's spinning.
Look at that thing spin. This might be dropping a tornado. If you're in Mayfield or Irene, I would definitely seek shelter. Or north of Valley View in South Dakota. Wow. This thing is organizing like crazy right now. The storm isn't even warned for anything right now, just for the record. Still trying.
It's trying, guys. It's trying.
Look at
I'm
those
trying to
small
get that-
vortices
to
there
get
too. You can
that-
see all like kind of tiny small vortices there in the middle too.
Make
Latest
sure the
scans
rain
at the bottom right of your
doesn't-
screen. I'll show you the velocities in a second once they update. It might just drop. We'll see. Still a lot of rising
It's
motion.
having a
It's
hard
still
time.
slowly getting closer to the ground.
Because of the rain. Focusing, I'll tell you, which really stinks, but there's nothing I can do about that.
By the way, this is the latest scan. The rotation's still really broad on radar. I mean, there's really not much there. It's fairly weak at least. But what we're looking at, though, is a little bit off the ground, obviously. That's probably what that's looking at. Definitely some spin. Just a lot of scud. Nothing super organized yet. He has the camera on top of the car, by the way, that does have automatic, like, it's already focused.
Autofocus
But
isn't on. That's just what this is. Dale might be able to tell me what to do, but he's not here right now. so.
Not sure if he's going to change the top camera or not. Go back to radar real quick. This is the storm that we're looking at, once again, near Mayfield, just to the southwest of Viborg, near Irene. Again, this is currently tracking slowly to the east-northeast. There is a lot of rain behind this, so there's a possibility that that storm merger behind it kind of kills off the tornado potential, but we'll see.
A lot of northerlies right now.
Yeah, he's parked right now.
It's just on the it's the iPhone, guys. Looks like we have to move a little bit, so. Here we go. We are off and moving a little bit. Just probably could put you guys back on Cam 2 right now.
That's what it looks like on the other camera. The little lowering that you can see on the middle left was what we were just looking at. It's not as organized now. I think it's because of the storm merger behind it. We'll see if it can try to drop again or not. If you're in Mayfield or Irene, by the way, you're probably fine for the time being. Just stay weather aware in South Dakota. That got pretty sketchy for a second. We saw that a lot, though, yesterday in Nebraska, too. It got sketchy for like a couple minutes.
For sure, you guys are correct about that.
And it just kind of, you know, died.
Something we're monitoring on that. We got a stop sign. Hopefully the guy
don't remind me of the
sees
stop
us,
signs. Oh, goodness.
Alright, I'm gonna
For anybody that
go
knows,
straight
you know.
on this.
You don't know, you don't know.
Not gonna go very far, okay? I'm gonna stop up here as well. I do not want to go too terribly far on these dirt roads.
I just paid that ticket the other day too.
Given all the pre
Not happy
they've
about
been
it.
through.
I dispute it. No, there's no way
go
to.
Down a little bit further on that.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Like there should be a way to dispute it other than going to court when you're out of state. I feel like that should be illegal, like legitimately. Like there should be other ways.
But before I do,
I'm not going to drive 6+ hours to go fight something. It's ridiculous for for what it is.
I don't know, whatever this is.
Checking out some merch. I'm not here. I don't know what that means. What is a drunk NATO? What is a drunk NATO? You asked the question. What is a drunk NATO? We have an answer for you. This is a drunk NATO. Top right of your screen. There you go. That's a drunk NATO. I have a dash cam. I have proof of it, but they don't do anything about it. I literally have the video of it, and I stopped. By the way, that Drunk NATO that you just saw is brought to you by Drunk NATO merch. You can pick it up at shopmaxvelocity.net. Hashtag definitely an ad. The Drunk NATO merch goes crazy. It's fine, Ladia. It's already too late. I already paid it, so it's fine. I don't know what the other question was, though. What's the other question this person asked? Taking the coffee cups? Yeah, there's actually different sizes now. We used to only have one size for all the coffee mugs, but we now have 11 ounce, 15 ounce, and 20 ounce. So, pretty big upgrade.
There are no
a lot of people were asking for different sizes.
It's starting to get run into from convection to the south, and that's my concern.
This is a right-hand moving storm, by the way, that we're looking at, so that's more favorable for a tornado. The other ones down to the south are more left-hand moving. So
I think this thing would continue to have that really good chance to do something. but because it's kind of stuck in a line, I'm not so sure.
Made a Griddy sticker, that'd be an instant hit. I probably will. So stay tuned. We're gonna have some line of Griddy merch, I just don't know when. We're gonna have probably days of the week for our next drop too. I just don't know when those things will be. I'll let you know once we get closer.
But that right there, you guys, that's our wall cloud. That's our area of interest, is right there. I have you guys pointed at right there, okay?
There is still broad circulation on this. As long as there's rotation with this, we'll stay live. There is still rotation, so we're gonna stay live. There is, as he's saying, there's at least a lowering. Possibly that's the wall cloud there. So we still have something with this storm. It's right now going under a storm merger, so you know it'll take a few minutes here for this thing to get going again, which it looks like it's organizing again. By the way, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below, like the stream.
How is there not a stop sign right here? That's what I want to know. I'm gonna go a little bit further past this truck, and then I'm gonna stop, okay? I have my locks on, so we'll be okay. It's pouring rain, though. My gosh.
Stop sign merch. That'd be pretty funny.
I don't want to go too terribly far, so this is where I'm gonna stop. I don't really know how I feel about going too much further, so we're good right there, okay? Again, not so sure how I feel about going all the way. I mean, I guess that guy is doing it, so this one.
There's a lowering right there in the middle left of your screen. This is currently going towards Viborg, and by the way, this is just next to Wakanda,
Sorry,
South Dakota, believe it or not.
I just don't know about these roads out here, quite frankly, you guys. Even dang, it's gonna be really hard.
My thoughts
to
on the
see,
storms
but-
in Montana? Mostly just wind and hail. I don't think there'll be much of a tornado risk. They did put a 5% tornado risk up there, but I'll be honest with you,
see it still, okay.
I don't think there'll be much of one up there.
If this continues to drench like this, I'm just gonna go. I'm just thinking about going backwards. Yeah. Okay, let me see. I can go. Okay, I can go north and then south again. That looks like. Yeah, I can go north and then south.
The
That's
latest
what I'm gonna
radar
do.
scan does not really show much when it comes to rotation. Just an FYI. I think these storm mergers are going to kill this thing. This is the kind of concern here for the last few hours. With that said, what is going on up here with this storm? Jeez. This storm right here actually has a chance to do something. That's near Canton in South Dakota. So there's actually rotation on this one. This thing's been organizing for several minutes now. And honestly, this could drop a tornado. That's going to be going towards Canton and Fairview. So that one has a shot of doing something. And this is not, again, warned or anything. The one that Storm Runner Media is on is back over here near Wakanda. So, yeah, honestly, that storm looks way more concerning. Looking to see if there's anything else out there. That storm right now, south of Canton, This has a chance. Right here. See what the next velocity scan shows, but that could definitely be a potential tornado maker. It's really started to spin here over the last few minutes by the looks of it. As a hook, it's organized. Might do something. Out of all the storms that we have on radar right now, that looks the most organized, at least across South Dakota. Wow, here's what Montana looks like. I know I had a few people asking about that. Man, just pretty much ordinary stuff. Just hail and windstorms. There's nothing really tornadic by the looks of it in here. Maybe a little bit of rotation just to the south of Highwood Baldy, north of Rainsford, Minnesota. But aside from that, it's mostly just hail and wind. And as a reminder, we do have a flash flood emergency for Grants in New Mexico, south of Prewitt. So again, if you're near Interstate 40 here, just continue to stay, or at least avoid this area if you can. There's not really many roads that can get you to Arizona aside from this, so just try to avoid it. Flash flood emergency in effect there, as there has already been a lot of rain there, and more is to come. We've already seen some photos out of there, and it looks kind of crazy. So make sure that you are avoiding roadways, or at least turning around. Don't drown if you're going that direction in New Mexico. Goose, if you want to donate, the donation links and Venmo are in the description. I don't think there's a way you can actually donate through Facebook. I don't think we have any options to do that. Somebody did ask me about Grants. We've had a couple of photos sent in from Grants too, in New Mexico. When's the max velocity Instagram dropping? We already have Instagram. We're actually using it now. Sorta. We're kind of posting on it. Ironically, this was our first post on Instagram. That was our first post. Yeah, we will be on Instagram a bit more. If you want to follow us, the link's in the description. It's also at Max Velocity WX. I made a post 20 minutes ago. That's our social media manager posting that stuff. Not me. I post some stuff, but when I'm live, I usually don't post anything. Be camping this weekend in northwest Wisconsin. I mean, it's gonna be rainy tomorrow. I don't know about severe weather up there. It looks like Sunday should be fine. Saturday looks pretty rainy though. Here's the latest scan. Still have some rotation there. See what the reflectivity looks like. We'll try to line it up. I'm eating pizza Pringles. Just waiting for this thing to update. While we wait for it to update, just a reminder, we are currently not even, just a little over 100 subscribers away from 287. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We do weather videos, live streams all the time. Also, if you want to support the page above and beyond, you can become a member. The link is down in the description. It's also the join button down below. Also, today's live stream is brought to you by Radar Omega. If you need a weather app to stay ahead of the storms, you can download Radar Omega with the top link in the description below. It's the app that we've been using this entire live stream. Has lots of features like computer models and satellite imagery for subscribers on the app. You can also get other things with the base app like the live radar. You also can see storm chasers live in the app like these two down here in southeastern parts of South Dakota. You can also watch different live cams. They have dozens of these across the country on their app, which you can also see people floating on rafts in Iowa. Very exciting. You can download it with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. I do appreciate them sponsoring today's live stream. I haven't had pizza Pringles in forever. They're actually pretty, they smack, actually. They're actually pretty good. We need more members? We do. The more members, the better. This is probably gonna get tornado warned. I'm surprised it's not. That hook gecko. I mean, we got a hook gecko, we got an inflow, we got definitely a potential for a tornado here. Our rotation's pretty strong. I'm surprised this isn't warned. South of Canton. If you're in Canton, Beloit, or Fairview, definitely be prepared for this. This could get tornado warned. I'm honestly a bit surprised it isn't. Maybe we're missing something. I don't know if there's like no other radar sites nearby. This very far southern one doesn't show much, but that's just so far down to the south. There's nothing else that's nearby. It's no debris signature or anything, but that rotation does appear pretty strong. So another view of that. And the storm relative velocities. I'll check my phone to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks like it's rotating. Again, going towards Fairview and Canton and Beloit, right along the South Dakota area back into northwest Iowa. Could definitely get a quick tornado out of this. What app or site to use for your radar? It is Radar Omega. You can download it with the top link in the description below on iOS and Android. Share some weather factoids. You must know a lot of interesting stuff besides Pringles. Well, I know cheese curd sized hail can be interesting. Yeah, there is rotation here. It doesn't look like it's on the ground by any means, but I'm just saying, kind of surprised this is not warned. Because there's definitely at least some broad circulation here, going towards Beloit and Canton. What weather facts do you even want, by the way? For I don't know who asked. It's too high up in the chat now. What kind of category do you want for weather facts? Have I had Zaxby's? I have. I kind of want to get the Mr. Beast bundle thing. I just haven't gotten to that yet. We have another flash flood emergency in San Miguel County, New Mexico. Wow. 2 flash flood emergencies now in New Mexico. That's for Las Vegas, east of Santa Fe. Near Interstate 25 near Mount Zuma. This is radar indicated. 1 to 4 inches of rain have fallen. Flash flooding is already occurring. Another catastrophic flash flood emergency in New Mexico. On the right side of your screen, by the way, Carney. Pretty sunset there. Mr. Beast of Weather. I'm not the Mr. Beast of Weather. I don't think that can exist. You're allergic to cheese, so you can have cheese curds? That's so unfortunate. Cheese curds can be really good depending on where you get them from. We're gonna end the stream? I never said I was ending the stream, I just said I was considering it. Like, that was like an hour ago. I mean, I'm still considering it, just kind of monitoring trends really right now. As I don't want to get off and something actually happen. I don't want to have to do a second live stream. I don't like doing the double notification thing, unless it's like an absolute emergency. So For there being almost nothing today so far, this is like a very long live stream. We've been live for almost 3.5 hours. Our members only live stream that we did yesterday with GeoGuessr and with what was the other thing? Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? That was like 2.5 hours. So we're topping that right now with this weather coverage. Low-key, I would have not gone live today if I knew it was going to be this slow. This is the latest SPC outlook for today. Pretty interesting, actually. So the slight risk and the marginal threat basically in the same area. Got one up here, you got one down here, and this is your main concern here. What's interesting, though, is that the wind and hail threat, pretty much the same. The tornado risk has actually been upgraded, or it's not upgraded, but it's been condensed to a 5% tornado risk back over in parts of northwestern Iowa, northeast Nebraska, southeast South Dakota, and southern Minnesota. So, definitely interesting that they have maintained a 5% tornado risk back over in parts of the Midwest and Central Plains. And that's kind of the area that we're looking at right now anyway. Let me show you the tornado risk here. It might take a second update. We'll just wait. But, yeah, it's definitely interesting. Let me read their wording real quick. Their wording, they don't even mention the word tornado at all. So, downstream of the broad, weak, mid to upper troughing, widely scattered strong to severe thunderstorm activity persists across the Rockies. Adjacent to the southwestern Great Plains, with additional widely scattered activity focused on the northern periphery of the predominant mid-level ridging centered over the mid-south. While convection across most areas appears in process of slowly waning, an evolving cluster of storms across parts of central into northeastern Nebraska could still strengthen and organize this evening into the overnight hours, accompanied by an increasing risk for potentially damaging winds. And that's really about it. So, I don't... have they had an SVC outlook here recently? Where is the SPC outlook? Or is there any... Let me look. Let's see if there's any mesoscale discussions. There is none, so we don't have any updates on that. Well, let's look at the future radar real quick, because this tornado risk is basically where we've been talking about. They have shifted the tornado risk further to the east. Here's where it is now. For the radar that we're looking at right now, this is what it's happening. So this tornado risk has shifted a little bit further down to the south and east across parts of northwest Iowa, basically where we've been talking about this entire time. Aside from that, it's pretty localized. It's not really a large area by any means. If we go to the future radar here for the next several hours with the tornado parameter values to start with those. So these are the tornado parameter values for the next few hours. So this is 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, 12. We might get a tornado threat later tonight. That's at least what we're looking at on the tornado parameter values. That's what the HRRR model thinks, is that the tornado threat will actually ramp up after sunset and eventually run through the overnight. So that's what that's showing in terms of the tornado risk. Let's check out the storm mode with this. So this is the future radar. So this is 8, 9, 10, mostly linear across the board. This is 11, 12, 1. It's mostly linear. So if it stays linear like this, it's going to be contingent on there being discrete cells out in front of that line to produce a tornado threat. So I think it's kind of a low risk at this point for those areas, but it's not zero. And that rotation that we were looking at before, that's starting to broaden out already because we have a lot of storm mergers happening there. So, and as long as there are storm mergers, the potential here for a tornado will probably stay low. Thank you, Goose, for the $25 donation through the donation link in the description. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Jim, for picking up a Drunk NATO mug. It would be great if you could design other types of mugs in the future. We will definitely plan on that. Thank you, Jim. Also, thank you, Jerry, for picking up a Drunk NATO t-shirt. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you to anybody that's picked up merch on shopmaxvelocity.net. If you want to pick up any merch like our Drunk NATO collection, the link will be in the chat. It's also down in the description. Highly recommend you checking that stuff out. It is definitely worth taking a look at. as we do have a lot of stuff already on the store, like our Drunk NATO collection, most popular collection that we've ever had, with amazing t-shirts, wine tumbler, pint glass, and much more. We got our Max Hydration line as well, with a special set of 3 stickers, which are all different, by the way, on the same sticker palette. And also there's a bunch of Max Velocity merch now with a new Max Velocity wine tumbler. So you can check all that stuff out on shopmaxvelocity.net. Overall, the weather's been pretty quiet here for the last few hours. We've had a couple of brief instances where the tornado threat has tried to ramp up. It just hasn't. So for now, we're just getting the stream. If something happens, we might go live again. But honestly, it does not look very concerning at this point. And honestly, so far today, it has not looked concerning at all. Like, we've had very brief instances where it looks concerning, and then it just kind of dies out. So overall, just stay weather aware if you're in these areas, have ways to receive alerts. And again, we'll probably be live again tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And also like the stream if you've enjoyed it. If you want to support the page above and beyond and get access to members-only streams, have a chat badge and all that sort of stuff, you can check it out with the join button down below. It's also the link in the description. And in addition to that, make sure to check out Radar Omega if you need a weather app to stay ahead of the storms. You can get it on iOS and Android with the top link in the description below. Again, we'll probably be live tomorrow. The risk right now is across the Midwest. That's today. This is tomorrow. We'll probably be live. I'm not guaranteeing it, but there's a large slight, mostly a wind threat, to be honest. They might add an enhanced risk over here for wind, but aside from that, it'll be predominantly just wind and then an isolated tornado. All right, so we'll see, but probably going to go live tomorrow because I like streaming the Midwest. So that's about it. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Have a great, safe rest of your night. We'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, stay safe. We might activate a live stream tonight if needed, but probably not. All right, see you guys all again soon, and have a good